Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, Floydie.
How are you? All right?
Yeah, I'm all right. Are you?
Not too bad. I've got a
You look
different.
rather dashing in pink or red, whichever one it is.
if I told if I told if I told you exactly what the light was, I would maybe incriminate myself. So I'll just.
Oh, okay. Right. I'm just going to bring up chat on my screen. Oh, that's the wrong. That says private. I never knew there was a private chat. So here we go. Let's go to the other one then. Hi, Peanut. Let's just scroll through them a second.
Rustic rambles.
Hi, Jess. Yeah. Hi, Rustic.
Yeah.
Or Rachel. Hi, Slinks. Hi, RP. Hi, Trisha.
I don't think that light's too great.
Hope I haven't forgotten anyone. Can you see the chat all right?
I'm just
At your end.
I'm using my laptop so I can see it on the bigger screen.
Okay, so you can see chat.
Aye.
And everything.
So hello everybody.
Hello everybody. Hello. Right, can you see us and can you hear us?
Would you like a nice cup of bowls?
Don't start that nonsense. Not now I know what it means. I haven't seen it, but
it's
no, I don't want to see it, to be honest. Well, nobody's out. Can you hear us? Everybody's saying hello to each other.
They can hear. I can hear us fine now that I've.
We can see and hear you. That's good.
Yes, Steve is not in the building.
Hi, Connie. Okay, I'll let you start it off then because you're from the area and you'll know more than me.
Well, basically, what we're going to be discussing tonight and having a look at is a case. It was a tragic, horrific case that happened. It happened on the 30th of June in 2003. It was only a year before my wee lassie was actually born. And at the time, the victim was named Jodi Jones. She was a 14-year-old schoolgirl, right? And she came from the town of Dalkeith, which is near Edinburgh. So, she had a boyfriend, and his name was Luke Mitchell. He was 14 at the time as well. So basically,
very young.
Basically, what had happened was on a certain night, and it was I think it was like maybe late. Aye, so you're talking what did I say? June. So you're talking June. So it wasn't dark at night, and it was around about 5 o'clock in the evening, and somebody alerted Luke and told him that his girlfriend was missing. And he was at this time supposedly at home, which we'll see on the videos and stuff. He was supposedly at home. So he got his dog, his Alsatian dog, and he went and he met up with another couple of people, which included...
What sort of dog was it? Was it a German Shepherd, wasn't it?
Aye, German Shepherd.
Yeah.
So he went looking and they met up with another bunch of people that included Jodi's grandmother. So that's just a kind of interlude, is that the right word, into it? Without spoiling too... No, I could just sit and tell you the whole story and then the show would be done.
You probably could, but we'll give somebody to watch instead of us.
But what we need to remember while we're doing this, and what I mentioned earlier, is there was a victim from this horrific crime, and we have to remember her because
Absolutely. Jodi.
it was the wee lassie had a whole life ahead of her. She was
Of
only
course,
14,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah, it's very bad. It's very sad.
And the other aspect is the reason that we're looking at this is because I think we both feel there's been a miscarriage of justice in this case. So the reason we're looking at it is because it's to kind of bring awareness to let you see that not everything that you read in the newspapers is the gospel.
Absolutely.
And not everything that I mean, you'll hear stuff that happened in the courts, and you'll hear testimonies and statements that you wouldn't normally hear on the national news. They wouldn't report that kind of stuff. So as you says, with the title of the stream it being was this a trial by media? Well, we'll soon find out. We can let people make their minds up by kind of watching it.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah. So, should we get started?
Yep, I'm good.
I mean, we have to stop and start for fair use, which I'll be doing. I'm just going to, you know me, present share screen.
But so basically, this video is part 1 of 2, and it's called Murder in a Small Town.
Yeah.
For anybody that might want to watch it at any time in the future.
Oh, do you know, it doesn't even say which one's which on here.
Do you want me to send you? All right.
I saved them both, and I put them both on here to share. And now, hopefully, I'm not gonna. Hopefully, the second one should be the first one with a bit of luck. Also, share all tab audio. What does that mean?
It means also sharing. If you're playing it through like a tab, then the tab audio will be broadcasted as well, so that the people will be able to hear what's getting said.
So wouldn't they'd be able to hear it anyway, wouldn't they? Oh, it's already clicked. Okay, here we go. Well, I'm hoping this is the first one because they're both called. Is he go? Yeah, right. Okay. So
if it's not, I'll soon tell you, and then we can just go to then we know it's the other one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just go back.
Not a big deal. Aye.
Okay, here we go. Right, I'm so sorry.
That's all right. I'm just figuring that out.
If I could stop it and start it again, I would.
I think, but see when you're playing it, have you got the tab open?
Yeah, I put share screen.
Aye, but do you see? So see if you share the screen and you choose that tab and then you open that tab, does it allow you to pause it there? The other way around it is we can just speak when there's some you don't really need to pause it. See, as long as you're commentating over it.
Phew, I found it. I think it had something to do with that thing that we had on.
Aye.
So
Take 2.
Take 2. Shall we start? We can start it again, can't we? And I won't make it full screen either. I don't really want that showing, but I do need to be able to see the chat. Apologies, everybody. You know I'm new. Here we go again. Okay, so we'll stop here. Hopefully this is all coming across all right, is it?
Sounds good to me.
And hopefully the chat can hear it, because I've lost my chat now. Normally we come out, you know, if you've got two people on the screen, you're still there.
Aye, the chat can hear it fine. I've got it on the laptop.
Okay. Okay, well, carry on then. I just wanted that to get at that banner. Right. The banner's on, so that's good. Let's go then. Try again. Hopefully I'll be able to hear you if you want me to stop and to talk about something that's been said.
I'll certainly give you a shout, and I'll soon know if you can hear me or see me.
Yeah.
Can you hear us, Trisha? It's just Andrew's just getting the video sorted. Can you see or hear the video?
Sorry, did you say something?
I was just talking to Trisha.
Oh, okay. Okay, sorry. Them all being Scottish, and I'm just trying to find it on my phone so I can check that it all should be doing what it's right. Find it. I'll turn that down. Okay, it's all good.
So it's just a case of screen sharing it now. Technical difficulties.
Do we have technical difficulties again?
I so see like just exact same way as you did the first time. How you brought up the file and then played the file.
Yeah. That's what I thought I did. Okay, let's try again. Second one. Also share tab audio.
Yes.
Are you sure though? Because I've never seen that on before.
Aye, definitely. Aye.
Okay, share. Let's go try again. See where we are. Oh, that's part 2. Why do I always get these things wrong? I'm so sorry, guys. You know what I'm like. You know what I'm like.
It's alright, just close it and then you know it's the other one.
Part 1 of 2. This is where we got up to, yeah?
Aye, part 1 or 2. Aye. RP's getting the bourbon creams out. take your time.
Sorry, Floydie. Did you say something?
I was just talking to RP.
Okay, if I hear you, I'll put it on pause. Because for some reason there's something not right here, but we'll carry. I'm trying to get rid of this side bit here.
Okay. Custard creams. So what are you trying to do? Are you trying to close that YouTube window?
Trying to get rid of this bit here, yeah.
It doesn't
Just
have
so,
the EF.
no.
Maybe try just going back into where you shared and click on the other one and it'll just switch to that one maybe.
If I was on my phone, I'd know how to do it, but it's my laptop. I could make it into a large screen, and then we won't be there.
That's all right.
I wonder what happens if I go on cinema mode.
It's all right. Just make it full screen.
It's not playing on my phone. Is it playing with you?
No. Did you click play on the play button?
Yeah.
Because whatever it's sharing, it's saying as if it's not been clicked to press play.
Is this the right one? It doesn't say part 1.
I'm not sure because all I can see is he guilty.
We should have done all this beforehand, shouldn't we, really?
Right, that.
I know. For some reason, as soon as I click on it, it gives me 7 YouTube videos.
Aye.
And usually it would just show the 1. So I'll stop sharing. I'm so sorry about this, guys. Right, stop sharing that one. So hopefully hey, you haven't got your camera on.
I was turning it off just in case it was.
I wish I didn't have mine on now. It's all going wrong. If only I could close this bit. This bit doesn't normally come on. It usually shows the chat, so I don't understand what's. Anyway, I think what it's doing, it's playing. All right, let's try again. Share screen. Go back to the beginning. So not literally the beginning. Present. Maybe it's changed again. You just get used to one thing and then it changes.
That's what usually happens in life, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah. This should be the one. No, that's 2, isn't it? So 2 will probably be 1 now. But there's.
We'll try it and see if it plays.
Yeah, this is part 2 of 2. It says, but it doesn't say it until the end. That's okay. A long walk to justice. Is he guilty? Right, it's got to be this one. So. Oh, we were on the right one. Is it playing, yeah?
No, it's not been shared.
One day I'll get used. I need to keep streaming and streaming. And then hopefully...
repeat.
Keep doing it and doing it. But it's by somebody else. It's not the one that I... Guys, just have a chat amongst yourself a minute. And I'll get it sorted, I promise.
Go back into the presentation part.
Yeah.
And what
I'm going to go back into the studio. So nothing should be playing now.
Right.
I'm just going to put a few comments up. Sorry, they're back to front. I keep losing the commenting bit for some reason. I didn't before. Maybe it's the way this. Maybe it's because there's 2 of us.
Aye.
Right. So
there is a way that you can move the cameras and all that about.
Yeah, I know some people are really switched on, aren't they, by it? What's it actually on? It's on that. Yeah. So us 2 should be there on the side. And then the video should be to the right of us. Right, present. Share screen. Let's try again. Share screen. It's a long walk to justice. Window or entire screen? Maybe I'll try window this time.
Aye, window.
Still got that stuff on the side there, isn't it?
But see, when you do that, and then if you click full screen, what does it do? Because it's...
You go to entire screen, but you get all the other stuff with it as well. So I'll just do what we normally do and share it. And I just don't know why we're not on the screen as well.
Yeah, that looks good.
It's a Monday evening, So Luke's has to take this
Where was
path.
Luke's house?
That's Luke Mitchell.
Right, that's
Luke-
part 2 you're playing.
The gardens are adjacent to each other.
That's
So
what
one of his
That's
neighbours
what I
phones
said
up,
just
says
now.
he's parked
And she's
with his
said
the
it
tight
wasn't.
trousers and knee-high boots. Why would you call somebody that anyway? Him and his son
Oh,
were looking
dearie
in the
me.
back bedroom into
Well, at
Corey's.
least we can get it to play now, so...
You
You know what I'm going to do?
And they say, oh, we smell Corey and Mitchell burning something. It'll be a funny smell.
I'm going to shut it all down. Not us. I'm going to get rid of them. And then I'm going to go onto YouTube.
I was going to say that, aye, and then just do it that way and share. I've been left alone again.
Oh, where did I go?
Oh.
Oh, it's all right, yeah.
It's all kicking off. I'm probably going to need to invite Andros back into our own StreamYard. I wonder if somebody's having a stag. What's it called? No. Well, there's a lot of pamping going on outside as if somebody's celebrating something. I've been deserted, Jessica. They've left me. Do you think I should send her the link back? I'll need to try that out. Copy. Imagine after all this, she's had a power cut. There we are. You're back.
It stopped again, didn't it?
What happened was you disappeared and left me here myself, and then you've come back. So I don't know exactly what's going on. But you could try saying, doing what you said you were going to try and just play it. Aye, there we go.
Right, I think I've got it all going now.
Yep.
It's just that side bit I can't get rid of. There's no point in trying to do it now, is there? Because
Nah, I would just play it. It's more what you can hear as well.
exactly.
Aye.
Sorry, guys. I'm really sorry. I thought I had all this sorted. I had all day. Right, let's go.
Let's go.
Because it is, really. Yeah, we have to keep stopping for fair use. I know we've been doing a lot of that already, but yeah. Did you want to say anything about this bit?
Just at that point there, that was Luke's mother. She's now she was 61 when that video was done.
Yeah,
So
I'm not sure how old this.
Sorry.
I'm not sure how old this video is.
I think it's only a couple of years now, but you'll see as we go. Well, people in the chat will see the kind of deterioration, and I'll be honest. I watched this earlier on, and it brought a tear to my eye watching it with how the woman is. But we'll not spoil it. I carry on.
No, I watched it again as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Okay.
And this is an interesting point, right? A location only the killer could have known, right?
Yeah.
Is what she said. And as you'll discover as we go on, it wasn't him that found Jodi.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
But right.
We won't say yet. Well,
Nah.
no, okay. No, exactly. I mean, you know, it's just wrong everywhere, isn't it? I mean, fancy calling him that. Feral youth. Feral.
It was exactly as the title says, trial by media, and straight away they painted a picture that this was some sort of crazy 14-year-old boy, where all he was a normal boy at 14 that was just a bit different from other.
Exactly. And I think anyone that's like a little bit, I mean, I've never been charged with murder, but, you know, I was always a little bit different at school, and I used to get picked on because of it. And like singled out, if you know what I mean, just because I was a little bit different. My middle son, he was a goth, but he didn't go around murdering people, you know.
And as you'll hear as we go on, now up until this point, right, this boy had never been involved with the police before.
No, he hasn't. No.
You're right, Slinky. It's generalisation, a type based on their tastes, right? You'll be even more horrified, Slinky, as this goes on about.
Yeah, it gets worse. It's really sad, actually. Yeah. Okay.
The national press for day one had this boy guilty.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
It was just disgusting, to be honest.
It is, yeah. Yeah. What year did you say this was? 2005?
2003.
2003.
And I mean, if somebody's guilty, they're guilty. But everybody's entitled to a fair trial. Everybody's entitled to be heard, and everybody's entitled to be, treated equally in the eyes of the law, or they should be.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, and then it gets worse, doesn't it? Why? You see what I mean? I was playing the same one, and it's something else has come up. I don't get this. You know, maybe it's not me. Well, it probably is, but all I did was put it on pause, I think.
You might have clicked the screen and that you think you've clicked pause, but you've skipped on to the next video by accident.
Yeah, I'm just not used to my laptop, to be honest.
Every day's a learning day.
When I've done this before, it's always stayed on the YouTube studio, like share screen. It stays on the YouTube studio, and then you see what's going on, and you can see the chat. But as soon as I click on a video, it comes off of the studio. Probably could. I expect somebody can help, but we'll be here all night, won't we? So
but
I'll
I think
just
if you
carry
click
on
back
playing
on that again, it'll just play for where It stopped. It should.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, I've got to go back to share screen again and
You're
go
getting good
back
at
to
good practice.
yeah. And I've only got one on there now, so I can't get the right one. Oh, the wrong one. Can't get the right one. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, here we go again. What? See?
Has it skipped?
It's only one saved. So why is it showing this? I don't get it.
We'll see how you're on the YouTube page.
Yeah, I'm just going back to it. I just closed it down because that was the only video I had.
What
So
happens if-
what
What
that
happens if
happened
you
earlier, didn't it? When I tried to.
Aye. What happens if you go into your history?
Very odd. Right, I've got it again. I'm gonna click on it. There we go. Hang on. Go back to StreamYard. Did I say I present share screen? Yeah, this is the right one. This is where we were.
Sandwich.
Though, eh? You know.
Aye. I mean, the boy's a suspect. I get why they didn't want him to go to the funeral, but what they're doing now is they're trying to portray him in a bad light because he done a Sky News interview, I think, on the same day as the funeral.
Oh, did he? I didn't know that. Yeah.
Aye, that's what he's just about to tell us here. So again, it's trial by media. It's like no. But
He was the
again,
only suspect as well, wasn't he?
oh,
Well, he
and
wasn't, but as far as you know.
And aye, the police right away, that basically, in my opinion, weren't interested in
Catching someone. Yeah. That's what he says as well. I think he will have been 14 here.
Aye, he was 14 at that time.
Yeah.
And that's the strange thing, which it will tell you about, is how they didn't charge him for a year later.
I know. And the you know.
And I'll be honest, looking at him there, he looks a wee bit guilty. You know what I mean?
He looks scared.
He looks scared. Aye.
Mm.
But people could portray that as guilt, see, because he kind of looked down and stuff. But he's under pressure. He's mourning the loss of his girlfriend, and he's got a guy asking him stupid questions and a camera stuck in his face.
Exactly, and he was told he wasn't allowed to go to the funeral, wasn't he? I don't know if they're doing the special visual here, but he wasn't allowed to the main funeral, was he?
No. So that was that day. So what the mother basically said there was they weren't allowed to go, so they were holding a vigil in the house, and Sky News came knocking on her door. She didn't call up Sky News and request the interview. So what she thought would be a good idea was, I'll let you come in the house so that you can all see that we aren't fucking a bunch of bad bastards, basically.
Yeah.
That we are here and we do have emotions, and we're not what is what he says. Don't believe everything that you read in the newspapers.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
unpleasant sort of vibe to it.
Sorry to be still speaking.
Aye, Tricia was asking about his legal team. His legal team was it was a QC, Donald Finlay. He was one of the highest decorated QCs in Scotland, right? But this trial, no, there was no DNA either. Tricia, this trial is purely based on circumstantial evidence, right? Which we'll get to see.
Yeah, circumstantial evidence only, wasn't it?
Yep.
Is anything changed on the screen?
No, I think you just need to make it play.
I just thought I would put some of the comments up. But it just doesn't, it's not working how it did. I just wanted to, I'll leave you with the comments. You can't put them on the screen though, can you?
No, it's only because I'm like using a second device, so I can see how you've got your phone.
I got my phone beside me so I can see what's going on the screen.
Right, so I just mute my phone and then you can read the chat from your phone.
I can't put it on the screen though. It's really weird. It seems to have changed even from last time. So we'll go back to the other tab. I just won't be able to share the comments for the minute. I thought it would have been questioned before 17 years.
It has
Didn't you?
kind of been, but you know, like
Probably in Scotland and that, yeah.
you're never see the police. You'll never beat the police.
Oh, no, exactly.
There was two people.
No.
There was TC Campbell. They've been shut down for stream suspended for policy violations.
Okay.
So don't know what that means. Copyrighted.
Just looking at the chat. Copyrighted links. We should be all right because we've got the banner going. Oh, hang on, it's gone. Stream unavailable.
Aye, that's what I'm saying. It's been struck for policy violation.
Even though we've got all the stuff going.
I think so. What you're going to need to do is when we're finished we're finished now, but look in your YouTube, what's it called, studio, and see what.
Studio.
Aye, go to that video and see if what actually the copyright thing was. It might have been because it was some BBC footage in amongst all that. Oh, hold on, we're back again. We're back.
Oh, we're back.
How does that
Yeah,
work?
I can't. I don't know, and I can't see anything in my
Back
YouTube
from
studio.
the dead.
Well,
So
let's
back.
carry on playing it. I mean, we've got the banner up and everything, haven't we? So, sorry, say that again.
Tricia, she was saying check your emails. They will email you just in case you get
Yeah, I will
another
do.
strike. I mean, I've seen this happen when, and it actually happened when Big Alan used to stream, and then his stream would come back. So I don't know if it's a strike on the channel. I just know a copyright infringement, but it's still alright to play it, no?
It could have been the music or something.
A number of things.
Just gonna have a quick look at my emails.
Aye. Well, Tricia's her advice is you really don't want to get banned. It's a chance. It's taking a chance by continuing, I suppose.
There we go. Your stream was interrupted. It says live stream copyright notice. Your stream was interrupted. Hi, this is copyright match. Your stream was interrupted. Video title, Luke Mitchell. What's this? A trial romance? Streams are interrupted when copyrighted content is detected. After copyright material is no longer being streamed, streams are automatically re-enabled.
Right, so what's happened is the stream's disappeared again. So it's going to keep doing that. But
could it be the music, do you think?
I don't think it's the music. I think it's maybe to do with BBC or Channel 5. I think it was on My 5.
You see, I'm streaming this from the True Crime channel. Big shout out to the True Crime channel, which I was going to put a link in the comment section.
The streams come back on, right? So take the YouTube stream down.
You think I should take it down?
I take that down because that's twice the streams went away now. And Trisha's saying we need to bin this video off, or you could risk getting losing your channel probably.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't mean we can't talk about it because
oh, we can still talk about it.
So basically, my thoughts on the matter was you could see what was getting painted there, that the boy was getting judged for the get-go. And then the press, the media, everybody had him as guilty before he'd even been charged. And then when he gets charged, how are you ever supposed to get a fair trial when for a whole 10 months all the Scottish public and everybody has all been told that this boy is guilty? So it's not the channel.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense, does it? I'm just gonna have a quick look to see if we can share another stream. Because there's quite a lot on it, isn't there?
Aye, there was a couple I sent you.
Yeah. I actually watched quite a lot on it.
But what we will do is I suggest people they should go and look it up on YouTube. You'll find that it's not too hard to find. It comes in 2 parts. It's very interesting because they bring in two other detectives, ex-detectives, who kind of re-examine the case, and some of the stuff that they find out is quite shocking. And it's quite shocking also that it was hidden. Quite a lot of stuff on that women's lawyers YouTube channel.
There's plenty of others on here. We've actually got the Dr. Sandra Lean,
Uh-huh.
where they're looking in depth at the case.
I'd give her a bash because, as I said, I think she would never strike you because she's one to aware. She wants to make awareness.
Yeah.
I am. It's Luke Mitchell. It's called Murder in a Small Town. James English interviewed the mother. Aye. There's a playlist on that Blind Bee and on the James English the YouTube channel. He interviews the mother, interviews a detective. and I think who else was it? There's 3 people he interviews. But I would try this the Sandra Lean one.
Yeah. Sandra Lane. It's weird how that stopping and starting, where it must be from the channel that originally.
To me, it's acting like a kind of safety net because it's live and it's copyrighted. Then it can't tell you no. You could upload a video and then you've uploaded it, and it will tell you that there's copyright issues.
Mm.
Whereas because this is live, it's just cutting in and saying, well, that's a copyright issue, so you can't use that.
Yeah. Right, let's have a look. Go through. So don't know why I'm using my old keyboard when I've got the new one. Habit, isn't it? I thought maybe we could try this one. All we can do is try, isn't it?
Surrounding this case. Hi, Sandra, and welcome to Social Sessions. It's been a long time coming. I've wanted you on here for a while, so I'm just going to
Yeah, big shout out to Social Sessions. And I'll put the link in chat as well. We'll see what this one's like.
take you back the reality we can everybody to your own kind of upbringing, your own history, just so people can get to know who Sandra is. So, where did you grow up, Sandra? Where did you grow up?
I grew up in a little, it's not so little now, a council estate, just outside Dalkeith in Midlothian.
Aye.
Place called Woodburn.
Mm-hmm.
Very straightforward working class upbringing. Went to the local primary school, went to the local high school. Mum was a stay-at-home mum. My dad worked, obviously. Very, very, very ordinary childhood.
Aye. So there's nothing really there that like
Amethyst, yeah, you do look for Luke Mitchell. Or the, what was it called again? You won't get it under that. Yeah, Luke Mitchell.
Murder in a Small Town.
Murder in a Small Town, yeah. Oh, yeah.
See, when you're watching this Sandra Lean person, now, just listen to what she says, and then everybody, and then decide for yourselves whether a woman like her would represent or no, it's 20 years she's been fighting this boy's case. Now, she's not a silly woman, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I mean, Connie, you would know
the
this
Meiji kind of.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry, I was just talking to Connie.
As you went into law and stuff, there was nothing really in your childhood that would have kind of made you go into that kind of thing.
No. My brother was destined to go to university. He was the genius.
Aye.
But that was back in the day where boys went to university, but girls didn't, because they're going to get married and have children. So what's the point in educating them?
Very.
It's come up again on my phone.
Is stream still playing alright on YouTube? maybe that was the second email or whatever you were just getting for the last
Oh,
one.
sorry, it's me. It was on pause. Right, let's go.
Very different now.
I was of that generation.
So obviously we'll just kind of take you into how did you get into the Luke Mitchell case? How did that become something that you ended up interested in?
I was going to say by accident. I refer to myself as an accidental criminologist because that was not on the radar. But when Jodi was murdered, and I've said this a few times, my girls, I've got two girls, both just a couple of years younger than Luke and Jodi, and this happened on our doorstep. So my eldest daughter had gone to high school, and Jodi was found behind that high school. So very, very, very close to home.
Mm-hmm.
And my concern, even back then, they jumped so quickly within a matter of days to pointing at the boyfriend. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking, hang on, if it's that obvious,
mm-hmm.
they'd have arrested him by now. Mm-hmm. This lad's still walking about the area, still living his life.
Mm-hmm.
What if it's not as straightforward? They haven't caught him red-handed at all. That really was what got me involved. I mean, as a kid, growing up, I was always massively curious. You couldn't tell me just because it is, or just because I said so. That was never good enough for me. I wanted to know the whys and the facts and everything. So I don't know if that continued. And then when it came to this, right, it's the boyfriend, we just haven't arrested him yet. I was like, wait a minute.
No, well, I think obviously when you look deeper, and I'm going to show some cases where the media have sensationalized stuff and they've been maybe been caught doing it. You know what I mean? We're going to look at some of these cases and just mention them so that we can see. And I'm going to say I ran this through the Bing AI, so it was totally impartial. I ran this through just to see what kind of cases come up. Was it similar to Luke's? Was it kind of, how did they sensationalize it? Because you've got to remember, this was the world's media on a 14-year-old boy. Do you know what I mean? So very stressful for everybody, very stressful for the Jones family, very stressful for the Mitchell family. You've got to really take into the fact that Luke was a child when this was happening. So was that the kind of stuff that was pushing you towards going, this doesn't look like 100% right here?
No, right from the off, the first couple of weeks, I was thinking there's something not right here. And then I met Luke and his mum. I didn't know them before all this, but his mum contacted me to see. She'd heard my take on it. It was like, there's something not right here.
And at this time, you're a criminologist?
No. I was an alternative therapist in a natural health centre.
Right.
That's what I did. That's what I mean about being an accidental.
So she didn't even want to be involved in all this kind of carry on. She was like, you can tell by looking at her, right? She's a kind of hippie.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So like, alternative medicines and alternative things like that, she was more into.
Yeah. Yeah.
But because she had an opinion, and I think because Luke's mother probably felt that the world was against him and that woman was not against him, she kind of reached out to her.
Yeah.
That's how she got involved. And
I think she's written several books as well, hasn't she?
Aye, and you know, I don't think she doesn't live a lavish lifestyle. I think everything she does, she puts it to like animal charities, or puts it back into trying to get Luke Mitchell out of the jail, basically. It's not as if she's profiteering off her.
No, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And she's really nice as well, isn't she?
Well, I think she's an amazing person. She's like one of them aunties that would be your best mate as much as your auntie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This week on the True Jodi podcast,
what
we have
did
a man
I do?
who was described as one of the baddest men in the.
I only pressed play, didn't I? Did you see me press play?
I don't know. You may have pressed skip.
Oh, gee. Very strange.
See if you put the mouse on the screen to the left-hand side, does it let you skip back? No.
I'll just do another search for Sandra Luke Mitchell. It should.
Well, see the top
Being
right.
an
see if you
accidental
click-
criminologist.
Aye.
Aye, well,
Sorry, say that again.
no, you're sorted. You got it.
It's playing. It's weird, isn't it? How I'm just going to stop and start from the middle.
It was not on the radar at all. When his mum asked if I could help her or help the family, I had no idea
How
I could help them. I just knew that for me, something didn't seem right about the way this whole thing. You would 14-year-old girls brutally murdered, and they're telling you they know who did it. Your first expectation is they'll arrest that person.
Of course.
When it's weeks and months and there's still no arrest, you then start to go, well, hang on.
And how long was it, Sandra, before they arrested them?
9.5 months.
So 9.5 months, and that the waitage was by that time 15?
15, yeah.
But the waited time was
Is it still-
16 to go to trial.
Yes.
So was he bailed?
No.
No. So he was inside. So well, obviously there's people, I've done one before about Luke's case with Scott, and people says I didn't ask hard questions, I didn't ask this kind of stuff. So we will go into that as well. But in my view, Sandra, I've always said I believe Luke. I believe what you tell me. I've always found you to be truthful. I've always found you to be upfront with stuff. You're very, very. You look into stuff like top to bottom. There's no kind of side hustle or anything like that. Where you really go into something deep, and that talks volumes. And how long have you been working on this case?
Be 21 years next month.
21 years of your life fully working on this case is amazing that you've actually done that, Sandra. I mean, and we're going to talk about how this has affected you as a person, because I've watched a lot of stuff about you, and it's always about Luke. But how do you feel?
I believed at the time, especially after he was convicted, I believed that we'd appeal and have him out in a year. If you told me back then I'd still be sitting here 20 years later, I would not have believed you. I think this work taught me a lot about, like when I was a kid, when I was being brought up, nobody said to me, right, you're going to have to pick a set of values to live by, no matter what. No matter what life throws at you, these are the values you're going to have to live by, so you better choose them carefully.
Aye.
And that, the whole thing about integrity, about honesty, about being straight with people, about people, sticking to the facts. You'll have seen the amount of trolling there is, and the number of claims that are made about dishonesty or overstating things or understating things or whatever. And I don't engage. And I know my truth.
I don't think you should engage. I don't think they should engage with. If somebody's willing to come up with some good questions and ask you questions that are maybe hard to answer or whatever, but when you get that kind of the trolling stuff and that, I mean, I'm the same as you. I don't engage with it. I don't look at it. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't really bother me. Do you know what I mean? But you do get it. Do you know what I mean? And it's but to the extent that you've had it is it's really it's very abusive. It's very
What
very
she's got is
personal.
She's got
It's very very.
She's had the
So-
fallout from what the mother got. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, she has, yeah.
Because what we never seen was when Luke was charged in that other video, Now, that woman was quite a successful businesswoman. She had a nice house. She had a caravan park with 40 caravans.
Yeah, which I believe Luke helped out with as well, didn't he?
You believe what?
Didn't Luke help his mum out with the caravan business as well?
I
It was
think
like a
him-
family
well,
thing, wasn't it?
Yeah. And she got called one night to come up to that area where the caravan park was to discover everything was devastated. No, it was all, they were all burnt out and smashed up, and what
Yeah,
what we've
smashed
not
up and
seen-
burnt.
Aye, and then also what we never seen was the kind of situation that she's living in now, where she's basically living in a container, with no running water, no electricity,
No heating.
no heating.
You could see all the breath coming off the dogs. It was so cold in
That's
there.
exactly what I noticed, Andrews, the
Yeah.
breath coming off a dog.
Yeah.
And fair play to that woman, because she says she was asked the question, why have you not moved away from here? And she said, if I move away from here, then that's like me admitting that my son's guilty.
Exactly. Exactly.
So it was big. So I mean, this Sandra Lean, she said a lot of shit, because no, it's basically the same kind of stuff that what Luke's mother got, only maybe not to the same extreme. It's more done online by keyboard gangsters sort of thing, no?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I'm hoping I don't know, we could try and show the second part, but I might get another strike. Just carry on watching this for a minute. I'll have a little think about it. Or I'll see if I can find it where somebody else is. If it's because it's taken from the telly originally, then I don't understand why the other person hasn't had a strike as well.
Aye, like the person that's uploaded it. Unless they've asked for permission beforehand. I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
Anyway, I'll carry on playing this one for a minute.
I mean, we're not going to go into things, but there's certain things been happening. You've had threats on your life. You've had different things. How do you cope with that, Sandra?
The blasé answer is it goes with the territory.
Mm-hmm.
The truthful answer is it's absolutely heartbreaking, soul destroying, and to have to find the strength to keep coming back and keep coming back and keep coming back, no matter how many times you're kicked down. That doesn't get easier over time. If anything, that gets harder over time. There's a my mum used to say I was a contrary little bism. There's a bit in me that will, like, you will not get the better of me. You will not get the better of me. Yeah, I'm getting a bit older. Yeah, would prefer a bit more peace.
No, of course. I think you deserve it. And it's one thing about you, Sandra, you've never ever entertained, and you've never been abusive yourself. You've never actually come out and been that person that argues back and stuff like that with these people on Twitter or whatever. I mean, you might have some answers and you might put some things out, but you're never aggressive, or you don't get that way with anybody. How do you find the strength to do that when people are like really personal attacks on you?
Partly because I can't work Twitter. That helps. When it comes to the really personal stuff, and some of it is ridiculous. You know, I've been trolled for my hair. I've been trolled for my makeup or lack of. Yeah, I'm an old lady. Like, who cares what I look like? That's not what I'm here for.
Same.
Humour is one way
Mhm.
of dealing
I
with it,
sent you a
just
wee Discord
finding ways
message,
to laugh at it.
Andrews, that you can
And the
link.
Say that again.
I sent you a Discord link, a link in Discord that you could use probably.
Okay. I'll have a look. I'll keep this playing while I'm looking.
other is to walk away.
Mhm.
Just close it down and walk away and go and do something else
Mhm.
until the level has
Aye.
come down to a place where you can either respond neutrally
Mhm.
or just put it aside and move on. It takes a lot of energy.
So, obviously, you done some pieces on my case, stuff like that as well, and you helped out with my case, and you've always been there for me as well with stuff. And I know the trauma that 15 years in prison caused me, and it was all mental stuff that causes you the PTSD. Do you know what I mean? It's like there was no really much physical stuff happened in prison, but it's draining.
Yes.
I can imagine this kind of work to be draining.
One of the difficulties with this type of work, especially because I live right in the centre of it.
Aye.
Yeah, I'm probably 15 minutes walk
Mhm.
for where Jodi was murdered. Living with that constant high level hypervigilance,
Mhm.
constantly. I didn't realise that
Aye.
the whole of my shoulders and my jaw and my neck for 20 years has been like that.
No,
Because
I
you're
know,
just waiting
definitely.
for, where's it going to kick off next? Is this safe? Is it okay to be in this area? Do I use public transport or not? All of that sort of thing.
Mhm.
And really, until the documentary, and even after that, it was much less of a threat after the documentary.
Mhm.
But it was still there.
Mhm.
And it still kicked off every now and again.
Mhm.
But to have lived with that level of, like I said,
Hypervigilance.
yeah,
Aye.
and the sense of guilt.
Mhm.
So you don't talk about, in this work, you don't talk about how it affects you,
Mhm.
as in me,
Of course.
because I'm not the one sitting in a prison cell. What right do I have to complain? I'm a volunteer. And
Aye,
that
I get
goes
that.
round and round,
Mhm.
and
I
it has
get that.
done for years.
But that doesn't take away the fact that you have been living in a hypervigilant state for most of your adult life now. And it's because of this case.
Yeah.
So the work that you've put in, you've wrote a book, you're a massive part of a documentary, you've exposed a lot of stuff that's...
Okay, I found the other one. Floydie. Should I put the other one on, do you think?
I think this is a good one because it's this guy now claims to be a lawyer, right?
Mm-hmm.
The guy with the grey hair. But this guy
Yeah.
used to be a junkie. So if he's now a lawyer and he used to be a junkie, then fair play to the man, eh?
Then he's come a long way.
Aye.
Yeah. So is he like, does it tell the story of what's been going on, sort of thing?
It gives an insight to the whole story, but also lets you know about the other suspects that were never investigated.
Yeah, I thought that was the interesting bit.
Aye.
Yeah, because there was somebody else, wasn't there, where they found his well, he had scratches, didn't he?
Well, this is his friend. Aye.
I thought these are the two guys that were in yeah, these are the two guys that were in episode 2, aren't they?
Aye. Aye.
Yeah, this is a good one. Yeah, I'll change to this one then. Okay, we'll stop sharing that one. Terribly sorry. I thought we had it all sussed. It was all there and ready to be done. And
Do you know something? I think it's been not a too bad thing because playing the Sandra Lean thing a minute ago gave you a bit of an insight for everybody to see about her, a wee bit of her background. And as Jessica says, she makes good points. I mean,
yeah,
she's just a lady for the streets. we all know it yourself, and she just has a passion for what she gets herself involved in, as you can tell.
Oh, definitely, she does. Yeah.
21
Yeah.
years. No?
Another bit I would like to have shown as well, or talked about at least, is we can do that at the end, about the lie detector.
Aye.
I found that really, really fascinating. So
Aye.
you'll probably be quicker at finding something like
Okay.
that than me.
I'll get it for you. Aye.
But there's a couple we can't show, isn't there? Obviously, so
We'll see how we got on with this one.
yeah. Right, what am I doing? I'm going to back to StreamYard. Present. Share screen. I just don't get why it's... I know I'm going on about it. Why it's going on to a different screen so I can't see the chat. Because normally it just does it on this screen and it's not doing it. So share screen, this one here. Also share this tab, audio. What if I was to turn it off this time?
I don't think you would hear the stream audio. It would just play the
No.
video without any audio.
Yeah. Okay. Share.
In 2003, the village of Dalkeith was rocked when the mutilated body of 14-year-old schoolgirl Jodi Jones was found in this enclosed woodland. Immediately, suspicion was placed on their then teenage boyfriend, Luke Mitchell, who was subsequently convicted of the crime and sentenced to life imprisonment. However, many people believe that Luke was wrongly convicted of the crime and refer to this case as Scotland's first trial by media. Recently, I done a podcast with lawyer and author Scott Forbes, who claims Luke Mitchell was fitted up for the crime by police and claims he has evidence which can exonerate him. Scott also claims that he has proof that may reveal the identity of the real killer. Today I am in Dalkeith, joined by Scott Forbes, and will attempt to reveal the identity of who killed Jodi Jones. I'm Hawaii 5-0, and this is a long walk to justice.
A shout out to Premeditated Patter, did the podcast.
Our story begins here in New Battle Abbey Terrace, a small enclosed neighbourhood where Luke Mitchell lived with his mother Kareem and brother Shane prior to the murder. During the trial, the prosecution laid out a timeline of events in which they claimed Luke Mitchell had a window of opportunity to commit the murder and dispose of forensic evidence. However, Scott believes that the Crown's version of events was simply not possible.
So Luke Mitchell has to enter here, New Battle Abbey Crescent, to get to his house, probably 150 metres that way. Now look at the houses, we'll count them as we walk.
Right.
And how many houses with big windows does Luke Mitchell have to pass without being seen? Now he's allegedly just killed his girlfriend. Police time, 5:15. So he's got 45 minutes to get here, pass all his
It'll
house.
probably be hard for a lot of people to understand this guy.
Sorry, carry on.
I'm saying it may be a wee bit hard for people to understand this guy. I don't know if you can put.
Should I put the subtitles on?
Aye.
I think this is the right ones.
Massive windows. This is a middle class scheme neighbourhood watch area, right? It's a summer's evening in rush hour, everybody's returning home for their work. It's a Monday evening, so Luke has to take this
Where
path.
was Luke's house?
That's Luke Mitchell's home there. If you look
I mean, I can understand them because I used to be married to a Scotsman. So, but when I first married him, I couldn't understand anything.
He's
You can see the homes, the gardens are adjacent to each other.
Uh-huh.
So one of his neighbours phones up and says the tap, the tight trousers and knee-high boots. Why would you call somebody that anyway? Him and his son were looking in the back bedroom into Corrie's sunbathing. And they phoned the police, I think, 2 days after the murder. And they say, oh, we smelt Corrie and Mitchell burning someone. It would be a funny smell. So they do a whole forensic search of the garden and they find nothing. Now, a Parker coat. The Parker coat is very important right now because the Parker coat, we got told that Mrs. Mitchell burnt it in the garden, but they could find no trace of a Parker coat. They couldn't find any traces in a fire. There was no accelerant. It was a small garden fire for leaves, for twigs. And the police had a search warrant for an address in Woodburn for a young boy who went to school with Luke Mitchell, and he wore a green Parker coat. Now, that's only Parker coat and hid it for defence. Only in the last few days we found that there was a green Parker coat taken under for a search warrant from the house in Woodburn for a school friend of Luke Mitchell.
But that was never disclosed to the defence.
No, it wasn't. No. Did you I read somewhere as well or heard somebody said, about this the wood burner. They went by, one of the neighbours said they could smell a funny smell.
Aye.
Like stating that it was probably his Parker coat.
Aye.
And it was just citronella candles was what she could smell. And it was the wrong date anyway.
Aye, there was so many inconsistencies, but what they did was they sewed the inconsistencies together to try and make it look like some sort of to deceive the public, basically.
Yeah.
The green Parker coat was a key part of the prosecution's case against Luke Mitchell. An eyewitness sighting stated that a man was seen in the area during the time of Jodi's murder wearing a green Parker coat. The prosecution used this coat to argue that the man spotted was indeed Luke Mitchell. Having recreated the path Luke would have had to have taken on the way home from the woods, myself and Scott retrace our steps to the entrance of New Battle Abbey Terrace.
Luke would have had to have come down New Battle Road, right, and come in here. And if you look at the houses, Luke stays over there where the white flag, where the Scotland flag is and the white vans. But if you look at all the houses, they're all glass fronted, big windows. So they're asking me to believe that a boy has travelled from where Jodi is. He's had to at some stage cross this road, and he must come in this scheme. And as he comes in the scheme, covered in blood, he then has to get to the house over here without anybody seen him. Now, Luke Mitchell was never seen going into the scheme. The only sightings of Luke Mitchell was seen sitting on this wall approximately, I say approximately because people argue with the times, approximately 6 o'clock, right? Just before 6 o'clock, he's positively ID'd twice sitting on this wall just before 6. That gave Luke Mitchell approximately 50 minutes to get from East Houses, along Rowan Dykes Path, arguing with Jodi.
Aye.
Cocks her over the wall, beat her, fight, strip her, and then murder her, and then mutilate her, and then travel all the way down here, which is a 25-minute walk, and then get to that house walking past all these middle-class, semi-detached bungalows with big glass windows at the front without ever being seen. Do you think that's possible?
Only one way to find out.
Well, the way he tells that story, right, do you think that's possible?
I think it's totally impossible. I mean, it was a summer evening and it was still light.
Aye.
Time-wise, there's no way he'd have had the time to do that. If he was seen sitting on the wall at 6, he can't have travelled there and killed her and then come all the way back. He wouldn't. He literally wouldn't have had the time to do it. Plus, because of the way she was killed, he'd have been absolutely covered in blood.
Yep.
And it was broad daylight.
So
And
he had to
nobody
get back.
saw him.
He had to carry out all that in 50 minutes, including getting back, washing himself, to the point that they said that his hair was dirty and he had dirt under his fingernails. But
that's right. Yeah, he was dirty, so he can't have had a shower, that they were saying, weren't they?
And there was no DNA.
No DNA.
From her on him, or from
No.
him on her. Slinky was asking, what's his motive? I've not heard what it is yet.
No.
Well, what they basically try to paint it up as, his motive is, as far as I can recall, was basically it was a Satanism, and he just wanted to carry out this horrific crime because he was a devil worshipper. He was into Marilyn Manson and the Black Dahlia. But what they don't tell you is he only had one Marilyn Manson record, and he actually bought the Marilyn Manson record afterwards.
Yeah. Afterwards. Yeah. And they took away all the computers in the house, and there was no reference whatsoever to do with Marilyn Manson.
No reference to do with the Black Dahlia. There was no search history.
And the Black Dahlia, yeah. They went on the other one about a painting that he had done. No, whatever he's called. What's he called?
Manson,
Marilyn Manson. A painting that he had done. And it shows the painting. It's just a weird painting, really, of somebody being cut and stuff.
So
and they said, well, he must have seen that, and they took the computers away, and there's no reference to him at all.
No,
nothing.
Just because, like you hear in the other the video that we couldn't show, when Luke's speaking from the jail, he said it was easy to pin the blame on me. I'm just the local weirdo.
Yeah.
And it's
that's what he said.
And that phone call conversation that people can watch. You can see it on the screen. It's True Crime Central, Part 1, Part 2 on Andrew's screen. He also says in the court, in the call, that he basically gets harassed every day to confess to this.
Yes, and they've offered to put him on courses and stuff. They say, well, if you do these courses, then it will show that you're trying hard. So, and he's like, no, I'm not doing any courses. I'm not sort of doing anything because I didn't do it.
Aye, and they also recently denied an appeal for parole.
Yes, he refused that, didn't he?
Right.
Yeah, because he's just saying. How old is he now? 2000. I did read how old he was, but he's a great, fully grown man now, isn't he? I've seen pictures of him and that.
He's around 35.
Or
38, maybe. 35, around about 35, 36.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to find out his date of birth and stuff like that, because Trisha might like to do something. Because it is an interesting case, isn't it? Never been in trouble with the law.
It's so interesting because how deep it goes to the sheer core of how the courts and the I can't say that word. the police, no, everything, the way the police operated, the way everything was all presented and done, it was all a miscarriage of justice. But it was
Absolutely.
it was orchestrated, so it shows you that if they can do that to a 14-year-old boy, no, I can't.
And
I
and
can't
his
say.
name was they
Oh,
let his
sorry.
name out. Sorry, they let his name out, didn't they? When he was 14, and I didn't think they were allowed to do that.
Aye, he was 14, hadn't been charged with anything, but yet his name's over the front page of the paper
All over the paper. Yeah,
every day for 9 months.
yeah.
Pictures of him sticking his fingers up at the photographers.
But
which
they
is sad.
picked all the bad pictures, didn't they? Because
Aye.
it's the media. Yeah,
And then
they would do.
try and insinuate because of the way his mum was stroking his neck while they were doing the Sky interview was creepy, and that she must then be sleeping with him.
I mean, it's crazy, isn't it? I mean, I've played with my boy's hair. I had my arms around them. They're my kids. I mean, they're men now. I've always done it. And I still do it. They're my kids.
I mean, she's sitting there nervous. He's sitting there nervous, and she's trying to soothe his nervousness.
Yeah, of course.
While being nervous herself.
Yeah. Yeah. Dreadful.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just hoping in this documentary it brings up the DNA that they did have, and the condom. There was a used condom.
Aye.
That was found in the woods next to her body. It wasn't his DNA, it was somebody else's. And that person.
In that condom, it wasn't just as if it was it was fresh.
Fresh. Yeah. Yeah, fresh.
But I think they do talk about it in this one because this guy was the man that was mates back in the day that went to the police station. Remember, the guy comes to his house with his face with scratches.
Yes.
So this guy.
Oh, the one that was looking into him.
Aye.
Who's now not with us anymore.
Aye, he passed away. Aye.
Okay, I'll carry on.
Honestly, Slinks, there was no DNA.
This is Rowan Dyke's path.
Sorry, carry on.
No, that's all right. Just answer Slinks.
Yeah, it's a shame I can't see the chat. It's just, well, I can on my phone, obviously, but usually shows on the screen. Her DNA should have been taken as well. Yeah, what happened about that? Did they say because she'd been lying, because they left her in the rain, didn't they? After she was discovered, they didn't take her body straight away, did they? Did they not cover her or something?
That you're right. I think she was left for something like 24 hours uncovered.
That's right. That's right.
Aye. Luke Mitchell is now 35. He's in my local prison. He's in Greenock.
Oh, is he? He's in your local prison.
Aye. That's a kind of, no, it's a lower security prison, Greenock. It's probably one of the better places you could be in, I suppose.
I don't know. I've never been in prison, not yet, anyway. They say there's a first time for everything. Mind you, I feel like I'm in prison in here. I've still got no lights or anything. I'm waiting for the insurance. Well, I've got side lights and stuff, but probably get treated better in prison. Just had a look. Blind B says Luke Mitchell is now 35. Yeah, living at HMP Greenock.
Sounds like Greencock, doesn't it?
Well, I wasn't. Well, I don't know if it sounds like that, but it looks like it when it's spelled. We said we weren't going to laugh, didn't we? Because it's a serious subject. Slinky says it's part of my retirement plan when I'm too old to look after myself and all. Well, I'm already there. I can't.
Saves paying for the nursing home, doesn't it?
Connie says I like True Geordie. Yeah, I do as well, but we can't really show his yeah, and James English interviews the mother. He also interviews that lady we had on just now, and he also interviews the
It was the guy that
rain
done
fog the lie detector and
Yeah.
somebody else, didn't he?
Aye, the
It's
guy.
all on there. It's good.
Aye, it's on a
Sorry,
playlist.
we're messing up a bit, but we are trying hard.
Aye.
We can give you all the other links afterwards, and
But if
so
you
you
go
can
on
sit
James
down
English channel
nicely
and you
and
go to his playlists, you'll find it.
look at all the good YouTubers. My buttons are disconnected. Why?
Huh? They're still going. Oh, your earphones. Maybe the cat's bit through the wire.
A stone's throw from the Jones family home. This is allegedly where the chain of events leading to the murder began.
So there was an identification of Luke and Jodi arguing in this path shortly before the murder, but you think there's holes in this theory?
If you look on this main road, the White House is, you can see 300 yards up is where Jodi lives.
Right.
Jodi was last seen 100 yards away from here on East Houses Road, just properly where that red car is now on a pavement, and she's being followed by a stocky man.
Right.
We at the time we didn't know who the stocky man was, and the identification is this: Andina Bryson, who claimed that she's driving towards East Houses, and she hits this bend and she looks down here and she sees a man arguing with a girl.
Right.
They take Andina Bryson mugshots, maybe 100 mugshots in a book, with 13-year-old boys. And then they take her a Kodak Instamatic photograph. Louise Mitchell asked her, is that the man? She says yes. She couldn't identify Jodi, although she knows the Jones family. And if you look at this road and the car says, well, we hope they will, the car's driving in that direction. And the reason I know she's driving in that direction, the statement states when she's driving, the sign for the path and the sign for the school is on the left-hand side, which means on the passenger side. So she's a driver of a car that says so past her. She's alleging that she's been looking at this path and she was much laughter and that's just nonsense, it's lies. Saying, I've driven 100 times and you've seen it in camera. The person
Well,
driving
that's what
that
I
car
believe,
not
Gail.
see you or identify me and you or a beggar to prove that. So that's Andina Bryson. So Andina Bryson got Luke Mitchell here, I think just after 5:05, and we've seen it, his phone at Newbar just before 6. So roughly 15 minutes all in to be standing here arguing with his girlfriend, walking or taking a 20-minute walk, beating her, killing her, butchering her, stripping her, then get home to East House, making sure there's no forensic links, and then going to play with his pals. I find that impossible.
No matter where Jodi was going, who she was with, this is the party that.
Yes.
This was the last time Jodi was seen alive.
So what did the police allege happened when Luke and Jodi went into this path?
The police are alleging that Jodi and Luke come onto this path and they're arguing about Luke Mitchell's new girlfriend.
Right.
And then they walk down here arguing. And
Slinky. So that was
further on, we're going to come to what they call a break in the wall.
new girlfriend.
They're walking this path. There's several breaks in this wall. Right? Now everybody says that they walk this path. My understanding is I believe that anybody coming to Jodi's house to go to Luke's house would not have taken this path if they went over the open field. And I'll show you why later on the way back. Right? Anyway, the police are alleging that Jodi and Luke are on this path walking. And my idea is 2 men are coming straight up this path on a moped. They park the moped at the V in the wall that everybody knows. Right? If they're on this path, how did they not see Jodi and Luke? You can virtually see the whole road down the path. Now, as you walk around here, if what the police are saying, Jodi and Luke's arguing, Luke's wanting to get over that wall so he can hurt her. As you walk down here, you can go over this wall set with several breaks before you get to the one that where Jodi was found. Right.
So let's head to the V in the wall then.
Yes.
I was just saying about the motive. I think the police were saying that Luke had a new girlfriend.
He wants to get her over that wall to hurt her in the woods. Why do they not use this?
Right.
This is a well-trodden path. The breaks in the wall were used by locals to leave this path and go into the open field and into the woods. Now, I think the V in the wall, I think it's fourth break in the wall. But if you're coming from the direction the moped boys come, it's the very first break. Right, that's the first chance they have to get over the wall. So I'm telling you, the 2 men on the moped, when they came up this path, to find something that was over that side of the wall.
The moped boy Scott refers to are 2 men who were reported to have been on this path driving a moped during the time of Jodi's murder, later identified as Jodi's cousin John Ferris and a man called Gordon Dickey. Both men were well known to the Jones family and close friends of Jodi's brother Joseph.
So with a moped, you're going to see Luke and Jodi.
Aye, you're going to see somebody.
Aye, they never seen anyone. They did, but they never.
Say to the police.
Aye, they never seen anyone. Then when they leave, they come up this path. They go up there and along there, right? They still never seen anyone. So they've never seen Jodi and Luke. But here's the V in the wall.
The V in the wall was a crucial part of the prosecution's case. This is where they allege Luke coaxed Jodi over to the secluded part of the woodland in order to murder her and dispose of her body. In the search for Jodi, this was the point where Luke would follow his dog Mia to find what remained of his girlfriend. From this moment on, his life would never be the same.
A tight fit, that, innit?
The argument is a 14-year-old girl couldn't climb over here.
So this is the exact area where Jodi was found.
I've never had any difficulty.
Sorry about that. My Bluetooth headphones dropped out. So I'm going to have to try to reconnect them. Just going to get my hearing aids. I won't be able to hear anything. I'll carry on playing.
By climbing that, I've got a 14-year-old grandson that jumps over that. So if Jodi was on that path and climbed over there, she didn't have to be forced. That was a police motive. So he does the 19-metre walk. Comes in here. Like this. The first thing I'm going to Jodi lying here.
Here?
Yep. Jodi lying here. She's naked. She's virtually decapitated. She's sliced across here. She's cut underneath the breast. Somebody's trying to cut breast. One side of her face is sliced. Real slice. There's a couple of small cuts to her eye. We believe that her glasses. And she's got a defensive wound on the back of her arm. It appears to have been when she's done this. And I'm using the actions because it nearly cuts her hand off. It never. Right now, this here, there was no signs of any struggle. None. There's no pools of blood. The only blood here, and the only reason I know this is for crime scene photographs. The crime scene photographs were taken before they destroyed this crime scene, and I'll explain why. The only blood I've seen here, 500 millimetres from the ground, about this height, there's a line of trickly blood. I mean a line, and they tell you it's not arterial spray. In other words, there's no rush. Right. So how did blood get on the wall? And Jodi's lying over there, but how did blood get here? It's impossible. Me personally, I think Jodi's been carried down here, and as the person's come round here, the head, her head being a height. That's the only explanation I can come up. If there was a struggle, Jodi's computer covered. If there was a struggle, would be right.
Well,
yes,
I always thought
and Jodi's
that it was a
covered
bit
in
of a
blood.
massacre and
Somebody's
there
put
was a
socks
lot of
back on
blood.
inside out. Right. So the outside of the socks are covered in mud when she's been dragged somewhere. And there's no drag marks here, none. There's no blood apart from the wall over there, nothing here. Now, the reason I know that is
Right, I've got my hearing aids in now, turned up. I hope nothing echoes.
Give it a bash.
the photographer's taking photographs. But then the photographer
Sounds
takes
good.
Jodi, and they roll Jodi onto a piece of polythene. These two young trees were here, right? And this is an open space. So they roll Jodi onto a sheet of polythene, and they drag the polythene like this across a pine tree, right? Up to these branches. That felling tree wasn't here, up to here, and so they could get a better photograph of it, right? So they've trampled all over this, they've dragged Jodi along across here. So anything that's on the soil.
So the forensic people at the time have made a right mess of things.
Started cutting away trees, right? And they left Jodi here, right? So the pathologist then can't go over the wall. So Jodi's left lying there all night, lying on top of polythene.
So how may have that affected any DNA?
Oh, we can't hear Floydie.
It's 22 hours.
Oh, sorry about that. Hi, BCTV. Hopefully he's... Oh, it's really one of those nights, isn't it?
I'm back. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, can hear you now. Yeah, yours must have gone off, or I don't know what, up around the same time as my headphones, because I had Bluetooth headphones on and it went ding dong ding, and I charged them just before, and so they've packed in. So I just put my hearing aids back in and turn them up. Otherwise, I can't hear anything. So I can hear you. Can you hear me all right?
Aye, everything sounds good to me.
Cool.
Slinky, I was just saying earlier on when you were asking about the motive, well, the police said in that video earlier on that it was to do with something. Aye, it's when the video was playing. It was to do with Luke having a new girlfriend, that him and Jodi were having the argument in the first place. But I never heard of any new girlfriend, so that's news to me.
That's news to me as well. I didn't know anything about a new girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I haven't heard that anywhere.
Listen, and this same site, when they bring the dogs back, they bring a dog team up weeks after. They bring up a team for Yorkshire, the same team who worked on the Madeleine McCann case, different dogs obviously, but the same team. And they say that they were hampered by a bleach-like substance. Me personally, I think it's ammonia. It's an old trick used by gamekeepers, poachers.
Right.
So if a dog comes in and sniffing, you got something buried there, and I take ammonia and I put it in a big circle. Whatever's buried there is what they call a protected site.
Right, I see.
Right, so when a dog comes in and sniffs the ground and it smells ammonia, it does that. They call it nosebleed, and it goes off in a different direction because, right, and that's what police dogs found 15 days after Jodi was found.
Scott highlighted many errors in the prosecution's version of events. He included inconsistencies in witness statements, forensics contaminating the crime scene, and also the short space of time in which they claim this murder was committed. So I asked Scott to tell me what he thinks happened.
So Jodi's last seen here, 100 yards, and Jodi Jones then walks along this path with being followed by the stalking. One identification failed. The man that believed he seen the stalky man, identified somebody that was not in the country. But then a second person seen Jodi Jones's funeral. And from funeral shots, he picked out Jodi's brother, Joseph Jones. Joseph Jones is a stalky man, well known for carrying a rucksack, a backpack with a large bowie knife inside it. Medical records show and tend to make.
Yeah, did you all hear that bit about? Was he talking about that other guy? Can't hear very well now.
Well, see, the stalky man is another one I've not really heard of before either, because his friend that he went to the police about wasn't a stalky man. But he's putting it all together kind of thing, because there was the two boys on the moped. So what he's basically saying is there was a number of people that it could have been.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, because there's the guy that's already died who lived really close by there. He could have cut through the field, wasn't there?
Mhm.
Something Kane.
Yep.
The
And
boys on the bike.
Trisha's saying they need a retrial. This is what that Sandra Lean has been advocating for the last 21 years, and they won't give the boy a retrial.
No.
They won't even give him parole unless basically he admits that he did it.
Exactly.
So you definitely start off with them two videos, because it's them two ones that we couldn't show was Sandra Lean. I think she helped make the videos, and they were shown on My 5 or Paramount or some format like that. Something like that, anyway.
Yeah, these two here that are shown on the screen, this one and this one, part 1 and 2, this is the ones we tried to show you because they've got all the information in. Which they won't let us show, so for some reason.
Connie, I think he was actually tried as an adult, but he was only 15 at the time when he was charged, and then he was held in remand. So basically what happens in Scotland is when you're a young offender, there's a place called Polmont, and that's where young offenders get held. And that's where I know a couple of my mates had been in the young offenders when he was in the young offenders. And they told me stories about him, and they assured me it's like the Shawshank Redemption when they ask him, "What are you in for?" and he says, "I'm innocent," and the guy turns around and says, "Aye, everybody in here's innocent." But my friends says no, the same. All my mates and anybody I've spoke to that's been in contact with him in prison time have said that he is definitely innocent. So I can only go by what they've told me in that sense.
Yeah, and he passed the lie detector test.
And so did the mother.
So did the mother. Yeah.
But they made that video of the lie detector test look as if he was meditating. He was following instructions of what he was instructed to do by the person performing the lie detector test.
Yes, exactly. Clear your mind, don't think of anything, close your eyes. He told him to do all that, didn't he? So he did what he was told. But yeah, he passed with flying colours. And his mum also did one, and she passed with flying colours. But obviously they can't use them.
And it's so crazy because what if he never passed? Then they would have probably used it against
Yeah, what was they fair? Yeah.
So I mean, it's like a kangaroo court. You know what I mean? Yeah. There was no chance he was kind of going to win, and the investigation was very slack by the police, and whether it was a personal thing or whether it was just bad policing. But surely after 21 years, somebody has to come and put their hands up and say, we've made a mistake, or this trial is, like you said, or Connie or whoever it was, it should be retrialed. It should everything should be looked at again. But what they say is, crucial evidence that we had back then is now been destroyed, so we can't have that retrial. You know what I mean?
It's like it's just like a no-win situation, isn't it, with him? And
Aye,
it's
because
such a shame.
if he admits his guilt, then he loses, because he's just done 21 years for nothing.
Yeah.
Whereas they've said to him in the past, we'll give you parole or early release if you admit to your guilt. And he says, no, I'm not admitting to something that I didn't do.
Didn't do, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, I'll carry on with this.
In 2003, Joseph was taken to Roslyn Hospital after having what they called a violent episode. Psychiatrist, his medical reports say he was paranoid because he smoked cannabis resin. He was psychotic and he was having violent outbursts. The one he had on May the 10th, 2003, was up at his grandmother's house. So that was walking from here 2 miles. And he smashed up all the furniture in the house and he attacked Jodi. In 2013, the Scottish Criminal Case Review Commission elected Donald Finlay. And they asked Donald Finlay if you were aware that Joseph Jones was following his sister on the night of the murder, would you have incriminated him? Donald Finlay replies, hindsight's a wonderful thing and he couldn't do it. Although he had reservations about incriminating somebody for Jodi's family because the sympathy the jury would have for the Jones family and it might be bad practice. What Donald Finlay didn't know was about Joseph Jones' mental health history. He didn't know he'd been sectioned for attacking Jodi. He didn't know he had stabbed his mum. He didn't know 6 weeks before the murder, medication.
No, this is
the maximum.
This is the brother of Jodi Jones they're talking about.
I thought it was a brother's friend, or it's her actual brother.
I'm pretty sure it's the brother.
Okay.
I could be wrong, could be the brother's friend, but it's a person. And as you heard, he was having psychotic episodes. He stabbed his own mother. There's
yeah. Also carried a knife around with him all the time.
Yep.
And if he's the same one as I'm thinking, he was the one that I don't know if he went home or he went to a friend's, and the parent or something like that said he had scratches on his face, and he said that there were scratches from the bush, and the guy says there's no way those scratches have come from a bush.
Aye, see that guy? That's that guy there with the grey hair talking.
Okay, so you might say it again in a minute then, yeah.
Aye, he'll talk about that guy you're talking about, aye.
Yeah, and he's dead, isn't he? Not the guy on that, the guy they're talking about. I don't know how he died, but he's only a young boy, same age, wasn't he?
I think at the time he was, because when they show you the picture of him, well, it didn't show you on this one, but they're quite similar. The blonde hair, middle pattern.
On the other one they show him, yeah.
Aye.
He's got the same hair, same age. Everything. Carries a knife. You know, why wasn't he looked into?
Exactly, and he's he had previous with police before, so
yeah.
Luke didn't, and he did, but we'll blame Luke for it.
And what was he saying? He had cocaine on him, diazepam, where he took a whole packet.
Aye, he was a junkie, so he was a smart kid. So he was on methadone. He took
methadone.
What we call jellies, in diazepam, Valium, and he took speed, and he was drinking lager in the woods on the day that
in the woods on the day, carried a knife with him. I mean, And he wasn't even spoken to by the police.
No.
No, let's carry on.
Amount of antipsychotic drugs were being administered to Joseph Jones 5 weeks before Jodi was murdered. His medical reports also tell you, please don't send him back to his mother's home because his mother was psychotic. She encouraged him and she permitted him to smoke cannabis, and she also allowed him not to take his medication. So when Jodi was murdered 5 weeks after he was released from hospital, Joseph Jones was the last man to see Jodi Jones alive. This is the top of Rowan-Dyke Path. That path here is Lady Path. This is Rowan-Dyke Path. This is where the police suggested that Luke Mitchell took Jodi on that night, coming from that direction. Me personally, I think Jodi Jones would not have taken Rowan-Dyke Path. I believe Jodi Jones would have come in here. She would have walked in here. Yes, now, if you look down here, you can walk directly to where Jodi was found. However, I believe this is the path that Jodi took. I believe that Jodi did not go down Rowan-Dyke's path and climb over any V in the wall. I'll tell you why. Anybody from East Houses coming and going towards Luke Mitchell's, you come in this direction and go across this open field. You can see where the man and the dog is, right? That's where, just behind that man and the dog, there's a tool hire place that takes you on the New Battle Road and takes you into Luke. You can also follow this path here and it takes you down into the edge of the back end of the New Battle Abbey College and a golf course, and you can walk along that field. Why would anybody with local knowledge walk away down Rowan-Dyke Path to climb over a V to go to Luke Mitchell? You don't have to use that path. Summer's night. Listen, every time I've been here, this open.
I'm just going to say, yeah, and also this other guy could have, like they were just saying then, could have easily run across the field and not been seen because it's not overlooked, is it?
No, and it's a direct line basically back to where he stays rather than trying to go the long way round, which would possibly make him be seen easier by more people.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll just have a quick look at chat.
All right, Jimmy. Oh, aye. Bundy didn't pass the polygraph test. Aye.
Oh, Bundy didn't pass it. Well, Luke did, and his mum. So most people do fail a polygraph, yeah.
I think what Slinky says is right as well. It's a psychological thing. Psychology. I think if you tell yourself enough, a lie enough times, that you can believe it yourself. So therefore,
but he didn't have enough time to do that, did he?
Exactly. Aye.
He didn't have enough time to do that. So that's something
the other thing
else.
was, I don't think he was even actually required to give any of the polygraph tests.
No, but he wanted to, didn't he? Because he wanted to prove his innocence. Because he knows he's telling the truth. I mean, I don't know what would have happened if he failed, but they can't use it anyway.
Gail, please go and look up Sandra Lean on Google, and you could maybe get some advice on how to help, because I think there might actually be a petition on the go, or they've been doing petitions for years and it just doesn't get listened to. But Sandra Lean on look her up on Google. I'm sure she's got her own website.
Yeah, I think she has. I haven't seen it, but I think I've seen that she has, and she's trying to raise money and that.
I've seen that BCTV. Somebody mentioned earlier on about, it was you, Andrews, wasn't it, about person on Jerry McHale and the polygraph test, and he killed himself, I think, unalived himself, sorry.
I don't know. Right.
Jerry McHale's been questioned again about it.
Sorry, you were still talking.
No, sorry, I was just muttering.
Okay.
put people for East houses and walking their dogs. But I believe Jodi would have walked it if she was going to walk Luke Mitchell. I believe Jodi Jones was killed somewhere in this field. Two men well known now as a moped.
That's another thing as well. They were just saying there that they believe that Jodi was killed in that field. Well, yeah, I don't think she can't have been killed where she was found. I mean, she was cut from, it's bad, right up to her ears,
Aye.
slash marks on her face.
I don't know what this guy is
Hey.
really talking about, because to me it seems as if his story's changed for what I remember him telling before. Now, if he believes that Jodi was it happened to her in that field, then, as you say, was she killed in the field and then maybe dragged and then mutilated, or was she? If she was mutilated in that field, then surely there would be a trail of blood to where
Yes,
she
yeah.
was found.
So why wasn't anything that like that looked for? But I know that they said, although she had all the, I mean, if you cut somebody's throat, you get blood spatter, obviously, which goes all over the place. If you do it to somebody that's if they're already dead and you do it, then you don't get blood spatter because the heart's already stopped beating.
Aye. And he mentioned earlier on there where she was found, there was blood splatter on the wall. So he's kind of contradicted himself. Or maybe I've just picked him up wrong.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I've not heard that.
I see that long ago.
But if she was actually even if there was a bit of blood spatter on the wall, if she was actually killed there, then there would have been a lot of blood.
Aye.
And there
that's
would
the
have been a
story
lot
I
of blood
remember.
off the person that did a lot of blood on the person that killed her as well.
I'm sure I remember
And on the dog that found her.
Aye.
And
the person that done it, because
yeah,
what I remember hearing was she lost something like 5 litres of blood. There was 5 litres of blood. I'm sure that was on some other documentary or some video.
Yeah, where though?
So that's why I don't get what he's saying a wee bit. Like there was very much blood, and then he says, but there was blood splatter. So I don't know. We'll carry on and see what he says about the
Yeah, okay.
Came up
the
New
guy.
Battle Road. They pushed the moped up here because it was breaking down. It was on the hill. They come here and then they went up this path. Right, as you go up this path, you come to what they call the V in the wall. The V in the wall.
Is he making like different scenarios? Maybe. Might be, mightn't he?
Always a very.
He's kind of jumping about a wee bit because he keeps talking about one group of people and then he's talking about the moped people. So
yeah,
he's saying scenarios for each different person so far.
Yeah, because wasn't there 2 boys on the bike?
What was supposed to have been was there was 2 boys on a moped, and that moped was seen laid up against the wall where Jodi before where Jodi was found.
Yeah, in the V shape of the wall there.
And then they were questioned later on, and whatever statements they gave, I think they changed again at a later date as well.
But they weren't treated as suspects, were they?
No, they were just questioned.
Yeah. Or were they? I'm just trying to think. I might be getting confused. The other guy that carried around the knife, he wasn't questioned, was he?
No, just that guy that I thought is this guy here went to the police. He says he went to the police the next day with concerns because a young.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. He did. Yeah.
And
And they
then
did nothing.
I don't think they followed it up. No.
No. It doesn't make sense. Okay, we carry on.
That the V in the wall went at the precise time Jodi was being killed. On the night that Jodi was found, approximately 6:15, a man was seen running down here, coming for the woods, jumping over the wall. He was described running like a bat out of hell, for no safety for himself. He ran across this bit. It's a busy road, as you've seen.
I don't think even the transcript thing can keep up. It just said he's running like a battery hill, or as he said, a bat out of hell.
I've been reading it and laughing as well at some
I
of the
know,
words.
there's several bits in there. Okay, I'll carry on. Shouldn't be laughing.
And he ran in front of a car and he was running in that direction. The two men that came up here was John Ferris and Gordon Dickey. I don't think Gordon Dickey and John Ferris left on the moped. I think they left the V in the wall with the colour on the back of the moped. And the second man, John Ferris, still had to escape. And I believe John Ferris is the man who came over here and he went in that direction. John Ferris cuts his own hair, shaves his own hair because he doesn't want to be mistaken for the killer. And how did he know what the colour looked like has always puzzled me. And he then didn't want to look like this.
I thought that. I was going to bring the hair bit up in a minute. Because he said he was going to cut his hair. He didn't want to cut his hair. Or he was going to cut his hair because he didn't want to look like the killer. Well, that's weird.
What he just says there was, how did they know what the killer, or how did they know what looked like?
Exactly.
Because maybe he knew who Jodi was, therefore, if he cuts his hair. Again, as you're saying, it's scenarios, it's having a look at different people. It's a possibility. Could it be the two moped guys? Could it be the guy that with the scratches on his face? But the bigger fact is that all these people were just kind of overlooked, and everybody was just pointing the finger at Luke himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Did they just say she was found at 6:15?
Because I think that Luke was alerted at 5 o'clock that she was missing.
Right.
Or just after 5, something like that.
Yeah, but he was seen sitting on the wall near home, wasn't he, at 6 o'clock?
He was seen sitting near his house on the wall, I think, at 6:15.
Was it?
And that's when he was positively identified, and the person said that his hair was still dirty and he had dirt under his fingernails.
Mm-hmm.
But yet he was supposed to have went and cleaned himself so immaculately that there was no DNA and no blood on him, and no blood found in his mother's house, and no blood found in the sinks, and no blood found in any of his clothes, and no blood or DNA found anywhere today we look. But
exactly. And he hadn't even washed. He was still dirty, and he not dirty, but he hadn't had a shower or anything because of the dirt under his nails. But there was nothing to do with Jodi.
And you remember them asking this psychologist, or whoever he was, how long would it take for somebody to scrub themselves down that much that it would get rid of every bit of evidence?
Yeah.
And would it be as easy as just using like shampoo or body
Yeah, or
wash.
soap or something. Yeah.
And the guy says, no, he says, you're talking, you're going to need to be using bleach and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Because all they need is just a tiny little trace or something, you know.
A
So
fingernail, a hair.
you just get down. You can't come up because you've just been outside and you're all wet. You come up, cuddle in a minute, eh? Don't want you coming on my lap at the moment. Okay, we'll carry on with it.
Stocky man. The stocky man, as we go further on, is Joseph Jones, Jodi's brother. So John Ferris cuts his own hair. He scraps the motorbike that night. He takes it to Melrose's scrapyard, which is a local scrapyard. Everyone in the village and the local area know that John Ferris scrapped the moped. He cut his own hair. His mum and his half-sister, Yvonne Walker, were burning clothes up in Stone Place in Mayfield on the night of the murder. Now, we've only discovered in the last few days the police have they burnt clothes as productions, but they're never tested forensically.
Right.
We're hoping now to, if they've not been destroyed, we're hoping now to test their clothes forensically. The police at the time when they discovered clothes were being burnt, they told people they were in the wrong area.
Right.
So a place frequented by John Ferris, Joseph Jones, Yvonne Walker, a gang hut, a place where Jodi went quite frequently also. 30 yards from that house, clothes were being burnt, and the police says it was in the wrong area to be of interest. The police made a plea for the two men on the moped, please come forward, please come forward. And John Ferris tried to come forward, and then Jodi's grandmother, his grandma, Alice Walker, told him not to come forward, and he told the police. Alice Walker told me not to come forward. And after he told the police that, he was threatened and he had to leave Dalkeith.
Right.
He was threatened by Jodi's mum, and he was threatened by Alice Walker, the grandma, his grandmother, that Jodi's brother Joseph was going to hurt him. So therefore, he left Dalkeith and he moved away to Ayrshire.
Didn't he say there he was going to hurt him? Not go. It said on there, go home.
I hurt him. I
Said he's going to hurt him. Yeah.
basically saying that basically he was threatened
Not to come forward.
And that's Jodi Jones's brother, right? And the grandmother, according to this guy. Now this is hearsay because this guy's just telling you what he's heard. But he's saying that the grandmother he said the police requested to speak to the two boys on the moped. And he said he would go and speak to the police, and the grandmother told him that it wasn't to go and speak to the police. And then the mother supposedly threatened him. And then what he's claiming there is, so because of threats from the mother, the grandmother, and the police, that then they moved away from Dalkeith and they moved to Ayrshire.
Oh, they moved, did they?
Well, that boy did. That Joseph Jones.
Right, okay. Didn't one of them come forward like months and months later or something? And obviously there was nothing, they didn't want to know, there was nothing anyway.
I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that one or both did appear in court. I think. Can't say for 100%.
Not sure on that. Yeah. Okay, I'll carry on.
So see if it was John Ferris that came over that wall and sprinted across the road and went through that, breaking another wall.
Yes.
Where might he have been going?
Come on, I'll show you. These derelict buildings now in 2003 were garages, garage workshops, spray painters, mechanics, 3 or 4 garages here. Now, in 2003, a large Bowie knife with blood was found in a skip just here. Now, as you drive up down this road, you would never know the skip existed. You wouldn't know these garages existed unless you were familiar with these workings. Now, in these garages, John Ferris, Shane Mitchell and Joseph Jones were all familiar. Now, there's significance in these garages, big time as this. The police in 2003 threatened these garages that they were going to close them down because people in these garages had special knowledge of the injuries in Jodi. 2003, there's a skip here, and it skips for all the scrap iron, right? There's a spray shop, there's a mechanic shop here, there's a spray shop here. Now, the police came here and they threatened the people that own these garages to close the garages because people within the garage, people who work here, have special knowledge of Jodi's injury. Right? Now, days after it, men find a large Bowie knife in the skip. Now, if you look at it, nobody else knows that the skip can be here. You'd have to have knowledge of the skip. In this skip, there's a large Bowie knife with a tip a couple of centimetres missing from the top of the knife. So they phone it in, the police arrive here and they come in white suits and they empty the skip looking for the tip, right? Then that knife just disappears. Recently we found that they took swabs for that knife but never tested it. Now, well, 2022 when I was writing a book, a man contacted me. I spoke to a man who told me about this knife, and another man who allegedly found it was told that the knife was a cheap thing. Well, a throwaway knife that a mechanic had broke the tip off it. I went back to the mechanic who owned the workshop, and I said to him that knife was cheap. Someone had taken a window out of a car and broke it, and he told me, don't talk shite. I know good material, good tools when I seen it, and this knife that we found in 2003 is a real good knife, right? So we left it. I never put it in my book because I couldn't find corroboration. A 14-year-old boy who found the knife, they told him it was a cheap thing, and he just to forget. Picked him up from school without his parents. They drove him home and told him, don't worry, the knife's just a cheap yellow handle thing. And I thought I've recently found that that's not true. Two things. A man came forward and went on tape that he was here with a mechanic when the knife was found and says it was a big, large Bowie knife. So the police lied. They had a Bowie knife, they took swabs for it and never tested it. And people were in this garage had special knowledge of
you find a knife.
Even Channel 5,
You find a knife with blood on it, but you don't test it.
They didn't test it, and they said it was just a cheap kid's knife or something. But the mechanic said, no, it was a really good knife.
Aye, a Bowie knife's a hunting knife. You know, a Bowie knife you can use for like wood carving, or you could use it for hunting and stuff. So it's not a cheap knife.
No.
And even if it was a cheap knife, why does it get blood on it? So we'll just never mind.
Why didn't they test it? Because, I mean, it doesn't make sense. Even, all right, they said they had the guy, they think they had the guy that killed her, but there was no weapons found on Luke or at Luke's house, was there?
No. The only thing they found was that Marilyn Manson album.
Couldn't they? Yeah, I know. But you'd think they still would have tested the knife in case, if they thought it was Luke, that he could have, it would have been some kind of evidence. So for them not to test it, then they already knew.
Well, then again, who's to say that they didn't test it and they just says that they didn't test it, but they did test it.
Yeah, that's true.
It proved that Luke was innocent. So if that's going to be the case, then we'll just say we never tested it.
Yeah, that's true.
Exactly, Jamie.
Because as far as they were concerned, they'd had the person they wanted and they didn't want to back down.
That's a bit of a question. Who gets rid of a knife with blood still on it?
You don't.
Unless, I mean, it was found in 2003. What this guy's saying is the three boys that he suspects were the Scooter boys had knowledge of that. It was basically a scrapyard.
The garages and that, yeah.
So what they have done is they have immediately left that scene is what he's assuming, and went right to that lock up and just fucking flung the knife in the skip and hope for the best.
Hmm.
So I wonder why. I wonder what was going on. I missed who actually found the knife, or if he said so. They said something about that one of the workers found the knife in the skip and the police were called, and then they didn't test it. That's what they said.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, carry on.
Last two senior detectives, murder squad detectives, serious crime squad officers, to look at this crime. They came away with two suspects. Joseph Jones was number one suspect, and Mark Kane was number two. Everybody suspected Mark Kane because Mark Kane's history, he talks on animals, definitely in the area on that night. He was on New Battle Road, and where he got his scratch.
Mark Kane is the one with the scratches.
He was the one, yeah, Mark Kane. He was the one with the scratches. And that was taking all the drugs, and did they say he was psychotic or something? In one of the other videos, and he'd been in trouble with the police before, and his mum.
He had all these traits of Bundy, basically, like hurting animals, and
yeah, that's when it normally starts, isn't it?
It seems to be with a lot of types of people. Oh.
Yeah, people that go around killing people. I watch a lot on serial killers, and you'll find, like, pretty much, well, if not all of them, that's how they start off, isn't it? On animals. They start killing animals.
It's like feeding an addiction for them, I think. It's like, if you try something once, it's like taking drugs, and if you get addicted to drugs, so then it evolves that you then can go down a slippery slope of going on to harder drugs.
Yeah,
so if you
one
start
thing
off, hurting, maybe you hurt a small animal as a child, and then you got some pleasure for it. So and you hurt another animal, and it escalates for there.
Yeah, it's weird. It's I mean, I won't even kill a spider,
I know. That's what I'm the same these days. I just get a glass and open the front door and put it out.
I catch him in my feather mop. I'll like get the web and I'll get out, go on, play on the tree or something, But most of these serial killers and whatnot, they do, don't they? They start on animals.
Aye, you hear a lot about it when you're watching like court cases and they're telling people's backgrounds and stuff, and you hear that they started off with hurting the animals.
I'm sure on the Jeffrey Dahmer, the film, did he start off with, when he's little and he's with his dad and that? Was it that one where he's like killing the animals and stuff, and his dad encourages him and he put him underneath the house or something? Was it him?
I think so. That rings a bell.
Yeah, it was one of them anyway, wasn't it? Okay, we'll carry on.
Over the years, I don't believe Mark Kane killed Jodi Jones. On the night that Jodi was found, Luke Mitchell walking up this path, and he met Alice Walker on the search party at the top of the path. And on the way back down here, can we walk down? Show you? Luke Mitchell and his dog, he's telling his dog Mia, find Jodi. So they walk past the V in the wall, and they go down here, and approximately 19 metres from the V. The dog, according to Jodi Jones, Stephen Kelly and Luke Mitchell, they all tell you the dog reacts and it puts its paws high on the wall, sniffing the air.
Right.
So Luke Mitchell then says that, okay, my dog's around about here. So then Mitchell
He meant that it says here, sniffing here. He meant sniffing air, doesn't he? Because that's what dogs do. I mean, mine does. They smell it in the air, don't they? First, you know.
And the other thing is, the dog would be familiar with Jodi's scent.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So,
And I'd heard as well on one documentary that the dog, they insisted that the dog be tested on the way, or Mia, wasn't it, that she could pick up scent, and apparently she was really, really good and passed everything, but they wouldn't use that as any kind of evidence.
see, and you wonder why the defence then didn't use it as well for their benefit, you know?
Yeah, I watched that on one of the other documentaries.
As I say, it's something that's been close to my heart for years, because it's like a Brian Koberger situation, right? I don't know what you feel or think about the Idaho 4 case, but
I haven't really followed it, to be honest.
you would be very interested in that. That's a good thing to get into. But to me, Brian Koberger didn't act alone if it was even him in the first place.
Yeah, I don't know much.
It's the same kind of situation, but I mean, this guy that we're watching now with the grey hair, we watched him. If you watched that one that we watched earlier on, he's kind of changed. Did he not just say a minute ago that Disney believes that the Martin Keane guy didn't commit it?
No, I thought I heard him say that he thought he did.
Right. Or maybe he says he thought for years that he did, but now he's got suspicions that he maybe didn't.
Oh. Yeah, because in the other one, he definitely said.
Aye.
Because he showed the iPad and that, didn't he, with the pictures and stuff.
Because he was asked the question, do you believe that this Mark Keane committed this crime? And his response to the guy that asked him the question was, I honestly couldn't tell you, but I've suspected it for years.
I suppose with a question like that, you can't sort of just say yes, can you?
Aye.
You've just got to say, in my opinion, or I've suspected it, or...
Aye, so he basically said yes without saying yes.
Yeah, I would say so, yeah. Got to be careful what you're saying, haven't you? You know?
Aye.
Yeah. Let's carry on. I don't know what time it is.
turns round and goes back to the V, climbs over, and he goes down to the left with his torch to where his dog was indicating on the wall. Right. And that's how he finds Jodi. The thing is, Mitchell walked directly to the body. He knew where to come. But Luke had walked up this path, and he wasn't searching for Jodi, or he had left his home at Newbattle and come up here. He wasn't searching, and he wasn't telling his dog to go and find Jodi. He was on his way to meet Jodi's granny, who met at the top of the path that we're going to just go and see. And it was Jodi's granny, Alice, who insisted that they come back down this way. Right. But he had already walked up here, and obviously he wasn't searching, but he was on his way to meet, but he hadn't seen anything. But Alice Walker was adamant that they come back down here, this direction.
After Jodi was discovered, police arrived on the scene, and almost immediately suspicion was placed on Luke Mitchell. The detective who would go on to lead the case, Craig Doby, was one of the first officers on the scene and would eventually be convinced that Luke was the killer. Scott claims Craig Doby's judgment may have been clouded by his own personal relationship with Jodi's family.
Building site, which is now a building site, was the high school where everybody congregated after Jodi's body was found. So when Craig Dobie arrived here, every one of the Jones family, you see how close Jodi's home is, 300 yards away. Nobody from Jodi's home left to go and search Jodi. They waited on their grandmother, Alice Walker, an old woman, and then they waited, and Janine and her boyfriend Stephen Kelly coming from Mayfield. I've said 3 miles before online, that's not true, probably 2 miles, right, as a crow flies, right, 2 miles. So I've had to walk 2 miles from Mayfield down here to go and search Jodi. But Joseph Jones and Alan Owens are 200 yards away, and they can't be bothered going looking for their sister. That's always puzzled me. The other thing that puzzled me is in the search party, when they found Jodi, as they're walking up here, Janine asked her boyfriend Stephen Kelly, was Jodi naked? That's also troubled me also. If you know your sister's died, she may have killed herself, she might have banged her head, anything. On the night after they find the body, the whole family, they congregate here. This is the school car park. When Craig Dobie arrived here, Jodi's auntie's here, Agnes. Agnes is driven to Pennycook, 3 miles away. She works with Craig Dobie in the children's panel. They're into safeguarding. They never safeguarded a child that night, I can assure you. And a police officer, the first on the scene, they come from Jodi's home and they've got in their notepads that she left with Luke. No to go and meet him, but left with him. Right? Alice Walker cradled Jodi. And he allowed her to go into Joseph's home. He took her to a police station. He started taking her clothes off her, photographed her and taking them for forensic. He started driving her about for coffee. So Agnes, his pal, sister, they're all getting driven about, and Luke Mitchell sitting over there, and he's sitting on a pavement clapping his dog, and he tells his mum on the phone, "Stop talking for it. I'll phone you, I'll let you know," or whatever. And the policeman looks over, and then they ask, "Who's he?" He's the person who found the body. And they didn't ask who else found the body. So they now immediately CID have got Luke Mitchell left Jodi's home there. He's the one that found her. So take him in. They take him to the police station and they strip Luke Mitchell. They give him what they call the full works. They strip him. They take hair samples, scrapings from under his nails, which were all dirty. The hair was dirty. His wrists were dirty and his ankles were dirty. And they photograph him. No scratches, no forensic links. Right. By the end, they start other people who have been over the wall forensically, tampered with, forensically interested at least. The police just allow them to go home and they wash their clothes 5 days later. Within 1 hour, Luke Mitchell was the one and only suspect in the Jodi Jones murder case.
That was it. Yeah, they took him, didn't they? And he was still dirty, hadn't showered or anything. No forensic evidence on him whatsoever. The rest of them were told to go home.
Well, in fact, what I remember happening was, I don't know if they all went to the police station or what it was.
3 days later, the others went to the police station after they had baths and washed clothes.
Luke tells a story where he is sitting, and it's like he's sitting himself, and they're sitting where they are, and right away he kind of clicked on to himself that he was getting treated different from
the rest of them. They already thought of him as the suspect.
Aye.
And they took him away.
Aye, they never performed the same procedures on the others as what they did with Luke.
No, they didn't. No, but they wouldn't. The others would have had baths and all that anyway, wouldn't they?
Well, aye, but that's what I'm saying. At the time, if that's a crime scene,
They should have took them all at the same time, shouldn't they?
Aye.
If that's a crime scene, which it is, because there was a person that had been killed, then it was a crime scene. So I don't get why they didn't take everybody at the same time.
The only thing I can think is, see, at the time, you could understand if you're a policeman turning up and seeing that scene and having a wee girl of your own and wanting justice in an instant for something like this to happen at the start, but for the fact that it went on for like 10 months before they actually charged them with it, you know what I mean? There should have been somebody in that law enforcement that could have seen the bigger picture, that wanted to maybe have a different look or a different aspect on.
I wouldn't be surprised if somebody did see the bigger picture, but the higher forces there, you know,
Aye,
people
but
higher up, they would have said blah blah blah, and they would have had to have done as they were told, wouldn't they? Because
it could have been a risk to their careers if they say, but they don't know if they don't follow the party line, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly. But how could they let, you know, if they know he didn't do it, or if there was a couple of them. I mean, they're trained police officers, you know.
Aye.
They, like you said, they were probably scared of losing their jobs, but how could they just let a killer still run the streets?
Because see in Scotland, see the different police forces and stuff, they're as corrupt as the corrupt people on the streets.
They ain't much better down this way, to be honest. I think.
I mean, if you ever watch anything, watch stuff to do with Paul Ferris, right? Paul Ferris was like, he was a Glasgow gangster, and Arthur Thompson Sr. And if you watch stuff today with him, he'll tell you how corrupt the Strathclyde police was allegedly at the time.
I'll have a look at that. You'll have to send me a couple links or
Aye.
something, or give me the names, and yeah, I'll have a look.
He's on James English as well. Paul Ferris, he's done a couple. I think he's been on Sean Atwood as well.
Might have seen. I do watch Sean Atwood, but not religiously. It's just if it's something I find fascinating. And Ron, I like Ron. I don't watch everything, but I watch some of it. I like his voice.
I've not seen this Ron guy yet. You need to send me a link and I'll check him.
Oh, have you not seen him yet? He's pretty cool. Yeah.
Jamie's calling me a proper Miss Marple.
Miss Marple, yeah. All right, let's carry on.
I'm just in it.
Yeah.
They take his phone and then they switch off and put it into a bag. The policeman then takes the phone back out, an old Nokia. He opens the phone up and so he destroyed the phone in case there's any forensics in it, blood or whatever, right? He destroyed that. Then they take it into an unsecured position and they open up the phone and they destroy all his data. He's saying he sent text messages that could have cleared up the police destroyed on him. And then all the Jones family is here and they've all got different phones. Janine owns a phone that Stephen Kelly uses. Kelly owns a phone that Joseph owns. John Ferris uses a phone that Janine's registered to. Jodi's mum owns a phone that Jodi uses, right? Nobody knows whose phones or what. And instead of taking the phones that night for the search party, what they do is they let them go home and so they lost everything.
During the course of the trial, Scott makes some incredulous claims that Luke Mitchell's defence team had fallen short of the standard expected in a High Court case. We head to the Justin Lee's pub, where Scott reveals the actions of Luke's legal team during the trial.
Luke Mitchell's dog was a massive part of this trial, and Luke Mitchell's legal team, led by Donald Finlay, his girlfriend Jane Farquharson, Nigel Bowman solicitors, and a solicitor called Jim Kelly. They arrive at the locus where I've just left. They have 10 working dogs with them. Labradors, Spaniels, Terriers, a dog man. The experiment was we were going to see how the dogs would react. But they never brought nothing for the dogs to scent. So what they've done is they came up here and they went into Justin Lee's and went in for a jolly. No, my words. A solicitor contacted me, Jim Kelly, in 2010, and he had explained to us the experiment was botched, and how it cost thousands of pounds. Jim Kelly's words to me were, I was like everyone else, Scott, I put my nose into the trough. This one experiment summed up Luke Mitchell's legal defence. Terrible. Many years later, 2010, I meet a man called Jock Pride. Jock Pride was a regimental sergeant major who specialised in training Alsatian dogs. And he had trained Luke Mitchell's dog. And when I told him about the solicitors, arriving at Newbar to carry on an experiment, but they hadn't brought a pig. And his words to me was, Mia was not trained to find pigs, Scott. She was trained to find humans. Jock Pride was never called as a witness. It astounded me. And I just think his legal team done nothing. Nigel Bowman, who was Luke Mitchell's lawyer, told some criminals that he represented in Edinburgh that Luke Mitchell was innocent and he was doing the best he could. He would phone Corey Mitchell up at 11 at night when he was pissed and tell her how great a job he was doing for her boy and stuff. Right? He would tell other people Luke Mitchell was duplicitous and he was guilty.
One of the biggest aspects in this case was the media attention it gained. Scott points the finger to two particular journalists whose involvement in this case was personal.
Jane Hamill was a reporter in Edinburgh at the time, and then she became a reporter for the Daily Record. She's been vicious, lied, and I say that on camera, she's lied, she's smeared people and attacked people, anybody that ever tried to defend Mitchell. We're all better words. She's a police spokesman. She's never been a journalist in her life. She wrote for the Daily Record. She's a reporter and very friendly with police. But the thing that got me, James Matthews for Sky, done an interview with Luke Mitchell on the day that Jodi was buried, right? And how he ever got to home and all that, right? Listen, you're talking about vulnerable people and the whole the world media against him, the world was against him. And Corey Mitchell stupidly opened the door and allowed him in. Now, at the time when I watched it, and I watched it many times since, my opinion, James Matthews had been briefed, coached by the police. Because he asked Luke Mitchell questions only the police could ask Luke under caution. And then for a while I did the police go to him, but then it came to me. James Matthews' brother, David Matthews, is a policeman in Dalkeith and openly telling everybody Luke Mitchell was the killer. Personally, Luke Mitchell didn't get a fair trial. He never got a good hearing. He never got a fair deal for the police. In my opinion, he didn't get a fair deal for his legal team. And he got butchered by the media. He got butchered. Listen, he was a devil worshipper. He was having sex with his mum. The Scottish media targeted Mitchell in a fashion like I've never witnessed. Everybody was all too close in this case. Jane Hamilton was introduced to the Jones family by Lothian Borders Police. Jane Hamilton is nothing more than a Lothian Borders Police spokesperson. Craig Dobie, when he arrived the night that Jodi was murdered, Craig Dobie was met with his friend Agnes. And there he should have, in my opinion, he should have stepped away. He worked on the children's panel with Agnes. He's a social worker, a trade unionist for social workers. He's on the children's panel for child safeguarding. Unless Luke Mitchell. Luke Mitchell never had any safeguarding, never had any child rights. Craig Dobie knew too many people in the Jones family. And he took them at their word on the very first night of murder, and therefore he targeted the wee boy, and then he couldn't take his eyes off that target thereafter.
Aye, what he says is right there. They targeted a wee boy, and
The
after
Crown
that, they never
signed
took their eyes off him.
massive amounts of documents, productions and documents over to Police Scotland. Police Scotland have been destroying them. Listen, very sinister. Craig Dobie lied on the stand. He perjured himself. He told the court that there was no other search warrants in this case. The only search warrants ever issued were for Luke Mitchell, his house, his mother's business, and his father's house. That's lies. Craig Dobie told lies under oath. Craig Dobie got a warrant for an address in Woodburn. You've heard of the burnt Parker. Luke Mitchell had a Parker, and Luke Mitchell says he didn't have a Parker. Luke Mitchell's friend from Woodburn had a Parker.
What they're saying is Luke Mitchell had a Parker, but Luke Mitchell's friends also had a Parker.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I can't remember if I've got it wrong. And the Parker was bought after the event.
Yes.
Or the
Yeah.
Marilyn Manson album was bought after the event.
Yeah, and there was a calendar as well, wasn't there? Of
Aye, that was it. It was either a record or a calendar of Marilyn Manson.
Ripped up in the bin.
That's
Yeah.
it. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And the police got a warrant and seized that Parker and hid it for the defence. They've also got scrapings for underneath Jodi's fingernails. They're trying to destroy that. And then me personally, when I took Mark Kane to the police and I told him about 2 essays, an essay that Mark Kane had written about killing a woman in the woods, the police told the courts no such essay existed to smear me as a liar. The essays are in police custody. Not just 1, but 2. And the title was No Remorse. And it was a story about a junkie killing a woman in the woods. And the police had them for the defence. They had Jodi Jones' psychology reports. Now, the first time in this whole case I ever knew that Jodi Jones had psychology reports was just the other day there when I was privy to see police production lists. When Channel 5 aired the documentary, Murder in a Small Town, weeks after that, that's when the police went after that, or the production.
That's when it commenced?
Yes.
Do you think Luke Mitchell will ever get a retrial?
Yes. I believe what the police are trying to do now is destroy any evidence that we can prove Luke Mitchell is innocent. And by doing so, it will make them look incompetent, and they can get away with destroying evidence by saying, oh, we made a mistake. And making a mistake, then maybe get Luke out because you could take litigation against the Crown and say Article 6 has been breached, so he's not had a right to an appeal. So they may release him, but then they can release him, the police will still say he's guilty. It's impossible. Luke Mitchell did not kill Jodi Jones, and I think the police are trying their best to destroy whatever evidence.
Sorry to cut in there. It does seem impossible, doesn't it, that he killed her? But obviously someone did.
It's 90% to me that he didn't, because there wasn't a thorough investigation as what it should have been. So how they got the conviction, people really need to watch them 2 videos, because then it tells you about the deceit and the lies and the cover-ups and everything that went on, and it also shows you, like, I mean, he wasn't all squeaky clean, but he was getting he was still going to school the whole time, right?
Yeah.
If you've just murdered your girlfriend, how are you still going to school? You know what I mean? The guy had, to me, the boy had balls, because the easy option would have been to stay at home.
Yeah.
But then if he stays at home, he looks guilty.
Yeah. Must have been acting differently, though.
And that I think that's what they were saying, though. They try to paint a picture over them 9 months that him acting up in school and smoking cannabis in school and stuff like that. But you heard them mention how he was a 14-year-old boy, and they never got him a safeguarder. They never got the social work involved and looked after his rights.
No, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
So they never looked after his rights as a child.
No. No, he should have had somebody there keeping an eye.
And do you want to know what they're saying? I don't know, see if I can find this. Do you want to know what they're saying?
Well, yeah, well,
they're saying that where is that? They're saying that his recent appeal was denied because that the parole board could not adequately risk assess him, right?
okay.
And then it says it says they could not adequate. It's easy for me to say.
Adequately.
They could not assess him correctly. It comes after a psychiatric report that the 35-year-old is a sexual risk to women, right?
Sexual risk to women.
He's a sexual risk to women after being 21 years in the jail. It is understood cops also contributed to the report, which was based on jail officials' two dossiers following his move from the maximum security prison to the Greenock prison. Mitchell, who has always denied the blade murder of his then girlfriend, has since been hauled back to the tough HMP shots in Lanarkshire after speaking on a podcast. So what they done was they let him come down to Greenock, which is a lesser category prison,
Hmm.
and he must have been allowed to have done a podcast, or maybe that's where that recording was took from. No, the phone call.
Oh, the phone, yeah.
And
yeah,
then
which
so
is all on the ones we can't watch.
aye. And then what they've done is they've then said to him, well, for you being a bad boy and trying to make us look bad, they've sent him back to the tougher prison and shots.
I mean, it makes me wonder, if he ever did get out, I mean, what sort of life is he going to lead?
I know, because
How's he going to cope with?
it's hard enough to come out and adapt to it's the civilization of the world again. After
Yeah.
being you can be institutionalized like the bird out of what's it called, the Shawshank Redemption.
Hmm.
So, but he's got a lot of post-traumatic stress.
Yeah, and he was never able to grieve for his girlfriend either, was he?
Not properly, not like
No.
anybody could have. I mean, you seen a picture of him not long ago where he's got the flowers at a grave. I think he went there 1 or 2 days later.
Yeah, with that was on the
So,
picture I put on the thumbnail. I thought it was a nice picture because it shows the dog and him and his mum.
But as I say, the media portrayed them, the whole family, as that they didn't care and they were heartless, and he was a devil worshipper. So therefore, he must have did it. And you often wonder. I mean, I don't think it'll ever be admitted that the police made a mistake, but stranger things have happened.
True. But I mean, if she's been campaigning for all this time.
I mean, I don't know if you remember the two guys from Glasgow that were involved in the ice cream wars back in the 80s.
Yeah.
TC Campbell and forget the other guy's name.
Yeah.
And one of them used to escape all the time, right? Because they proclaimed their innocence. The whole 100 yards or 900 yards, whatever. They proclaimed their innocence, and one of them kept on escaping through jail. And he used to superglue himself to his hands. He used to superglue his hands to the gates of Buckingham Palace in protest. And then eventually, do you know, their convictions got overturned and they get found not guilty. They weren't the squeaky clean guys, but they probably did a lot of things in life that they should have got to jail for, but they got to jail that night for something that they didn't do.
That they didn't do, yeah.
It's a bit like the Guildford 4, the bombings as well, where I forget the guy's name now, but even the dad got to jail, Giuseppe Connolly. They served, I don't know how many years in the jail before justice was served, and it was found out that the British government had covered it all up, you know.
Well, there's all sorts going on, isn't there? If you watch Ron and so, some of the things that he lets out, and It just goes like
It goes deep.
higher to the highest people, you know.
And,
It's
and
just
you
like,
wonder, it just makes you wonder how there can be such craziness in the world sometimes.
I know. And we've got a police. The police are meant to protect us, aren't they? Not put away innocent people. I mean, all right, it was the trial and all that, but you know what I mean. You know, they're meant to protect us.
You see the way it's becoming these days. The police isn't a police force. The police is a cooperation. They're basically, I mean, they're turning up. They turn up with like TV license officers, for example, right?
Hmm.
Why are they even there? They're there to keep the peace, right? So basically, if that ever happens to you, just shut the door and tell them that you don't wish to speak to them. Because,
Do you know, I've had loads and loads and loads of letters
aye.
about TV license, but I do actually have one. I do.
I know, right? I know.
I just think that maybe I forgot to change the address on it or something. I mean, I paid. It comes out by direct debit every 3 months, however
They
much
just,
it is. 15
they,
quid every 3
they,
months. I mean,
they just seem to do it just in the, and it's basically junk mail because they put it in a red envelope so that it makes it look more scary.
to be honest, I don't open my letters.
Aye.
I just rip them up and put them in the bin. If you spoke to my son, he'd tell you, he'd say it's a bloody nightmare. Every time he comes to visit, I've got one of those letter boxes that go on the wall, and it's just all stuff hanging out of it and on the floor and stuff. And I just pick it up and stick it in the corner. And he's like, "Mom," I said, "just rip them up and put them in the bin." You know,
Aye, we don't want to know.
I'm not interested. Should we watch the end of this? It's nearly finished.
Aye, there's only like 2 minutes left, eh?
Yeah.
Could prove that.
In my time spent with Scott, I've come to the realisation there is a lot more to this case than what meets the eye. So let's look at the facts here. We have allegations of police corruption, with suspicious media links, we have key witnesses repeatedly changing statements, we have possible suspects being ignored by investigators, we have the media playing judge, jury and executioner, we have the shortcomings of a legal representation, but most importantly, we have a 14-year-old girl savagely butchered just a stone's throw from her house. So the question remains, who's the real killer? I'll leave that for you to decide. But what I will say is that the murder of Jodi Jones is far from being solved. Was Luke Mitchell a cunning, calculated monster capable of demonic brutality? Or was he an innocent 14-year-old boy convicted of a murder he didn't commit? In whatever case, I hope true justice is a lot closer than what we think. I'm Hawaii 5-0, and this has been a long walk to justice.
Yeah, so
I do suggest if we can look at other streams and do another stream on this, but as I say, I suggest people look it up and watch some of the documentaries. Look up Sandra Lean. Look up premeditated Patter. That's the guy there. He called himself Hawaii 5-0.
Y50, yeah, he did, yeah. Yeah.
Aye. I used to think that guy there that was speaking at the end was the guy with the grey hair for long enough because he looks like him when he was younger.
Yeah, we had to find another one quickly, didn't we? You know, we could do another one next week or something, but if everybody wants to watch I always forget what it's called. What's it called? The one we were trying to show in the first place.
It's called Murder in a Small Town.
A Murder in a Small Town, yeah. Because it is really good. And, you know, watch that and me and you, Floydie, we can sort of look for some more stuff, see if we can make it. I'd like to show the get
guy
late.
with
What a brain
that one.
fog as well. The lie detector. I'd like to show the lie detector
Aye.
as thing, but I've only watched it on. It wasn't Sean Atwood. It was what's his face? What's he called? again?
I sent you on a playlist, so it'll be in your Discord and your link somewhere.
Yeah, I'll have a look. And then we'll work something out. And I'm trying to work out this blooming StreamYard as well. See, I'm back to the screen, the normal screen. Me and you are on it.
Aye.
And normally when I play a video, we just go to the side and then the videos goes on there. But it's been going on to a different page. I don't get it. That's why I haven't been able to answer anybody in chat. And I apologise for that. And
But we got there at the end.
haven't been able to put comments on the stream. I'll have to have a think about it, see where I've gone wrong, or they've changed something and I haven't understood what they've done. And you know what I'm like anyway. I do try.
But the more you do it, the better you get, and that's all you can try and do.
Yeah. Okay, so we say thank you to, well, Slinks has already gone to bed now, I think. And thank you to RP, our mods for tonight. And thank you to everybody that's watched and been patient. And hopefully the next one will go a bit more smooth.
Smoother.
And I was saying the other day as well, I've got a Temu order, which I still haven't opened it. Do you know, I can't find it. I'm a bit worried that I put it out in the bin.
Has the bin's been
It's like kind of a big plastic package. And I remember thinking, oh, and I thought, I can't be asked at the moment. So I either put it somewhere safe, and I don't remember where. I did look in the garden earlier to see if the dog had got out and ripped it up in the garden, and it's not there. So I don't know where it is, but it's quite a big package. I'll have a look for it tomorrow when I'm a bit more awake, and I just hope I haven't put it in the bin.
But has the bins been collected?
It depends when I put it. They come every Wednesday, so it came before last Wednesday. So yeah, if I put it in the bin, it will still be there, along with loads of cat litter.
All the joys you'll have if you have to dig out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, at least you've got 2 days.
Eh?
I says at least you have 2 days.
Yes. It'll be here somewhere, but I just because I've had to pack a lot of my stuff up because of the flood I had in my bathroom, and there's been like surveyors coming and checking, and somebody else coming and doing this, doing that, different people each time, and I'm like, oh, and of course, like everything was put into boxes for, so there wasn't a place for anything. And I think it's just spun my head out. But I've started to unpack the boxes again now, or get as much as I can in cupboards and stuff. And it's just been going on for months and months. and they were going to put this portaloo with a shower in my front garden. So that meant every time I wanted to go to the toilet or have a shower, I'd have to go in the front garden. I got myself so stressed out about it. I thought I can't do it. So I've told them, I said, stop, because I've just had a great grandchild. So I was spending some time over there. And now I've got another grandchild due in about a week.
Oh.
So there's that as well. And these bloody insurance people, I'm like, I phoned them. I said, look, can you just put everything on hold for now? And I've decided I will move out when you come and do the work, but not at the moment. I tried to explain everything to them. So it's all on hold because it just stressing me out so bad. I didn't know whether I was coming or going.
I get too much at the one time.
Yeah, so I've got a bit of breathing space now.
All
So
you need to do
anyway,
is find that package.
say that again.
All you need to do is find that package.
I gotta find that, but do you know, I don't even know what I ordered. I thought, well, I could look it up, but I'm like, spoil the surprise because I really can't remember.
I'd be out looking in that bin once you finish your stream.
Probably another load of junk. I'm going to bed as soon as we finish this. I'm just gonna. She wants to go to bed. That's why she keeps jumping on my lap. She wants to go to bed and have a cuddle. So we're normally in bed by now. So
dogs are like that. They know when it's bedtime and when you
yeah,
want to.
yeah, that's it.
But I've had fun. It's been good fun.
Yeah, thanks for joining me.
No, anytime.
Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. Well, you know what I mean. You still got to think somebody died during all this, and it's really sad for Jodi, isn't it? But
that's the point.
I just want them to find out the truth.
I say, if he is guilty, then he deserves everything he gets.
Absolutely.
And everything he's got. But if he's not guilty, then
well, there's nothing, is there? They've got nothing. It's just all circumstantial. So and by everything that they said, it seems to me that it was impossible for him to have done it.
And
timing wise,
you would also think with the evidence and stuff provided that it was being possible to convict them, but yet they took 24 hours and made a decision of guilt.
I know.
When the judge told them to go away and take their time, but that jury had already had 9 months, even before that jury was picked, right? That jury was subjected, as the whole of Scotland was, to every day it being in the national paper.
I was going to say, I bet it was in the papers every day. So, of course, everybody was brainwashed, all this.
Everybody's formed an opinion before.
An opinion, yeah, based on what the media has told them.
Aye. So them jury members, they had already probably formed an opinion or a decision before there was even, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
the images they showed of him and that are all like horrible ones where he don't look all that.
Aye.
To paint, especially that black and white one that was in the paper all the time.
It shows you how evil newspapers can be as well, because all they're interested in is making a sale. So if they post a picture of him looking evil on the front page, then they know they're going to sell papers that next day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. It's a whole charade. It's just, I sometimes wonder about people and wonder about life. But
I do all the time. I just I live my life my way and that's it. And I try and keep everybody else out, really.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of people, I pick up on their energies and stuff. I just feel better just doing my own thing and going out in nature and stuff like that.
Aye, that kind of cleanses the soul a wee bit. That's why it's good that you've got the dog and you can get the walks that you do and stuff, you know.
Yeah. Except at the moment I've got bad knees and every time I walk they swell up. So I don't know what's going on there, but I'm sure it will get sorted.
have a
But
wee maybe
I always
check.
take her out anyway. God, it really drives me mental if I don't. Oh, there was a couple of days last week I didn't take her out because I really, really didn't feel very well. Oh, she was a nightmare. She was just like, oh, doing my head in.
Yes.
Right. Sorry, what was you going to say?
I'm saying I know how it could be.
Oh, she's dreadful.
It's not as if you don't want to take her a walk. It's just that you couldn't.
No, that's right. I couldn't even stand up. Never mind walk anywhere. I was just like, oh, don't know what it was. It's, whatever it is past now anyway. And hey, we're all okay. Come here. Go and say goodbye to everybody. There's good.
Nighty-night.
Say, I'm Floydie. Can you see him? That's
Night-night.
the brush, aren't you? Right, so
We'll
thanks
let
for joining
everybody
me.
get to bed.
And thanks for everybody. Thanks to everybody for watching. If they're still there, they may have gone bed.
I know.
Okay, we'll
Cheers.
say good night until the next time.
Cheers again for having us on.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
No worries.
Nice to talk to you.
Yeah, you too. Thanks
Yeah.
again.
Give my
Bye-bye.
love to Jess.
I will do.
Yeah. Say
Night,
night.
night.
Night, night. Bye.
Night, everybody.
Night, night, everyone.